FM Floresville and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the rodeo road trip did not start well for the San Antonio Spurs. They lose to the Grizzlies in Memphis last night. They return action against the Hawks tomorrow night. Newest Spurs, Aaron Fox, is expected to make his debut. Spurs rookie Steph Campbell has been named as the Western Conference Rookie of the Month in January. Gabriel joins Victor Wemby, the only two Spurs players to win that award in the last 20 years.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minutes. On the radio, on YouTube, and just go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel because we're coming to you live from Orlando. Best Memphis radio coverage. It is getting started here today, and man, we've got a lot coming up on the show.
Well, it's already been an exciting. I mean, it's been a long one for us. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us, and that's fine. Playing left at 6:15 this morning from San Antonio. We get to New Orleans about 10 o'clock, and it's been bang, bang, bang since we got here.
Now, as we say that, we had to go to Houston first, so we had like 2 45-minute flights. Because somebody's listening going, it doesn't take 4 hours to get from San Antonio to New Orleans. 6 a.m. doesn't have a direct flight, so we had 2 45-minute flights. But yeah, the 4 o'clock wake-up call sucked. But I got to tell you, I was a little nervous about landing at 10 and getting into the whole process and on the air at 2 o'clock because this is my 14th Radio Row experience. By far the easiest credentialing system with the new facial recognition software. I've never seen anything quite like what we experienced today. It's creepy, but I'm all for it. We walk in, look at an iPad, and then it tells you, all right, you go to whatever, and as you're doing that, your credential is printing out. I have stood in that damn credential line for hours in the past. It took 3 minutes, if that.
What was funny was you look right at it, bam, hey, Joe, right? They go, welcome up, go to 4C.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this is great. So, yeah, Big Brother is watching. And it's funny to me because we were joking, they have the technology for the media. What the hell is that stuff for the football field?
Like getting first downs?
Well, yeah, that'd be good. Facial recognition when Josh Allen just kind of looks over the line and whether he met it or not, you can see he's got a smile on his face.
I mean, look, chip the ball, all the software that is available, right? I mean, Radio Row, one of these safer places. But I know a guy who, I think it was 2 years ago in Las Vegas. You talk about everybody's watching. Somebody had snatched his backpack. Reached right over the, like if you're watching on YouTube, you see a little half wall behind us. Well, he had his bag up against that half wall. And somebody reached up and snagged his backpack, his laptop, and all that kind of stuff.
Why would you do that?
Well, because some people can be idiots.
Yes.
And he wasn't sitting at his table at the time. He had gone somewhere. But, I mean, this place is safe. He comes back. His bag is gone. He reported it. And within about 30 minutes, the bag was back, everything in it, and some dude was arrested.
Well, good.
They were able to find him that fast.
Well, good. He should have been arrested. I'm glad that he was. Yeah, I mean, you don't do that. This is typically the safest place in the world as far as that goes. You got all media types. Nobody's looking to, steal anything or anything. So I'm glad they caught whoever it was and got rid of them. But it's been exciting here. I tell you, this place. It's funny when you go to different convention centers, like Las Vegas last year. That convention center was enormous. I mean, it was enormous. This one, not so much. It's a little bit smaller than the others we've been in, including Los Angeles and Phoenix.
It is cramped is a good word. Nothing will ever be as bad as the Minnesota Radio Row because we were in the food court at the Mall of America. That was a bleep show. But the reality is, I mean, it is crowded in here, but there is a lot going on here, which is cool. And the number of guests that are rolling around. I mean, just to give you a little bit of a rundown of what we expect to happen today, and you're looking at the schedule. I know we got Thomas Dimitroff coming up at 2:30. Ryan Leaf is going to be on the show. Solomon Wilcots, Lindsay Rhodes at 4:30. Shireen Williams in person at 5:15. And look, make yourself a calendar reminder to be on YouTube tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Broniak is going to be on the show tomorrow at 3.
Yes, she is.
That's one you definitely want to make sure you're on the YouTube for.
I think I'm going to get a golf tip or two. I'm going to ask for one anyway to see if she can help me with my putting. Maybe the putt.
I mean, but it's your driver that's got problems.
That's what I want to do with the puddle. The driver isn't working anymore. At least I can putt. I don't know, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, look, she's a really good golfer. She was on the LPGA tour, but was really one of the first influencers, if you will, that made money on social media. And she did it because, her assets that she has attached to her.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And still has an incredible swing. Anyway, that's tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Make yourself a calendar reminder now to be on the YouTube channel for that. You look at, being here in New Orleans, the buzz for the Super Bowl in this city is real. From the minute you land at the New Orleans airport, all the stuff on the wall, the number of volunteers that they have welcoming you to San Antonio. And my first thought is, this is what it's going to be like in San Antonio in a couple of months when the Final Four is in town. You just immediately get the vibe that there is something big happening in this city. And you get beads as soon as you walk off the plane, and you don't have to burn them Bourbon Street style, which is good. But, they give you this bead, and the 11th Super Bowl is being played in New Orleans. And you just realize, how
that's a record, right?
I think it might.
I think that's why they were touting at the airport. It's some kind of record.
It's Super Bowl 59. Kind of on-site producer and helper. This is her third Super Bowl, and all three of them have featured the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going for the three-peat, and Pat Riley, of all people, rooting for Kansas City maybe more than Patrick Mahomes, because that dude is going to get even richer because he has officially struck a deal with the NFL to use the term three-peat because, he trademarked that years and years ago with the Lakers.
Don't you hate that? Because it's like, why didn't I think of that? And then it's like a pencil eraser. What the hell didn't I think of that? And there was something stupid. Official, he gets paid
merchandising, and that's about 5% royalty on everything that is sold.
Jeez.
I checked in. Three-Peat's already gone.
Well, there's the boxing guy, Michael Buffer. They get $1 million.
Don't say it.
$1 million every time somebody says that thing.
Oh yeah, don't say it.
Well, are you a big fan of saying that?
No.
Or what? No.
I'm just saying. Just saying. Lots going on here in at New Orleans, but I'll tell you what. Let's talk some Spurs. Radio trip off to a crowd start, but the Aaron Fox should be in line tomorrow night.
Yeah, so he is expected to play. We're going to hear from Mitch Johnson of just how he intends to utilize his newest star. It's interesting, and I think he'll hit the ground running. To be totally honest with you.
Well, let's talk because they were stagnant last night. Let's talk about it coming up. Spurs 0-1 on the Rodeo Road trip. More from Radio Row in New Orleans coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's pretty cool. I've come up to New Orleans and still talk about my favorite company back in San Antonio. That's Stevens Roofing. I'm talking about Stevens Roofing, great family, local company. And, they're doing it right. They're obviously doing it right because they've been in business in San Antonio and South Texas for so long. You don't stay in business if you're not doing it right. Stevens Roofing is the absolute best in the business. And what I love about Stevens Roofing is they know the type of weather that you and I deal with every single day, no matter what season it is. For example, Texas roofs are not designed for winter weather. It's not. Right? We had that cold weather. We had some snow. We had some ice. When that ice and snow melt, water seeps into little cracks. It refreezes. That creates even bigger cracks, and it could result in loose shingles and leaks that could damage your home. You want to call the trusted professionals at Stevens Roofing because they'll come out and they'll check it for you for free. That's right, a free roof inspection from Stevens Roofing. All you do is give them a call. 785-0994. You can also visit them online at stevensroofing.net. Look, don't let Texas weather catch you off guard. Call Stevens Roofing 210-785-0994. Why don't you do it right now? Your roof keeps your family safe. Stevens Roofing is here to make sure that you are always covered. Stevens Roofing, protecting Texas families one roof at a time. That phone number again, 210-785-0994.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price to have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business. Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it and will beat any print quote. Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs. No problem. I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens. Totally. I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing. I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Does it feel like you're lacking energy, always moody, or you know your libido isn't what it used to be? It could be caused by low testosterone. Go get tested. I recommend the providers at Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss. Their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. They also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. And for current patients, Synergenx offers a $150 referral credit. Get started. Book your appointment at synergenxhealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for my good friends over at Prize Picks. It is now or never. The big game is almost here. Don't miss out on the last big one of the season. And Prize Picks is the absolute best place to win cash while watching the big game. And I'm talking about serious cash, 1,000 times your money. And it is so easy to do. And on top of that, we've got money for you. Just check out the promos tab to tail any of our super sweet Millie winners. Big game lineups, you you can get them. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win up to $1 million. That's part of the promo fines. That's why you go to Prize Picks. I'll tell you what, you want some cash? Use the code Alamo. You get $50 instantly after you play your first game. That's a $5 lineup with 2 times the money. Let's go play Prize Picks. You've been putting it off all year long, or you've been playing along with the other 10 million. Prize Picks is the place to be. Go run your game.
Rise and on!
It's the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway.
You asked for it, you got it!
Predict the exact score of the big game in New Orleans, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com.
I like this kind of party!
The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Detractor. Score big with Detractor and Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from New Orleans. Getting kicked off on this Tuesday, brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling at Circa, Las Vegas, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Synergenx, and Smokey Mo's. Well, Smokey Mo's Barbecue has some great barbecue like party packs.
Oh, yeah?
They got a rib pack and a like they call it a tailgater. Fantastic. Even their Baker Bar, if you got a big party and you don't want to spend a lot of time doing your own thing, go hit up Smokey Mo's. They got some great specials for the big game.
Nobody wants to do all that. You want to just go get it and put it out, right?
Absolutely.
And enjoy the game. You don't want to work your butt off on Super Bowl Sunday.
Exactly.
Let them do all the work.
That's it. And you're going to be the hit of the party.
Yes.
Which is what you want. And then you got the game. Now, the Spurs last night, that was a weird game. Weird getting to the game because he had that fan that was needing CPR on the floor right before the start of the game, which had that long delay. And generally, anytime you get a game that has a long delay, it's just going to be weird. And the Spurs, I don't know, man. They were just never in it. It was just not really all that competitive. Well, I mean, there was a moment.
They were missing Trey Jones.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but, I mean, it's kind of been the story of this team, has it not? I mean, it really has. At times this year, at times they look fantastic. Other times they look like not so fantastic. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night's game with De'Aaron Fox getting there to see how he's going to fit in and to see if that gives them a little bit of a spark. I found it interesting that Wemby seemed very happy. The fact that the Spurs are making some moves. And look, we've been talking about it. This guy wants to win, and he wants to win now. He doesn't want the steps and the patience and all that. He wants to win, and he wants to do it now.
The quote that Michael C. Wright from ESPN tweeted out last night, quote, it just shows that they're not here to waste time, and they're willing to take the next step on time. We're moving forward. I think it's a good step in the building of our future. I'm going to miss dearly my teammates. And I'm sure he'll miss Trey and he'll miss Zach. But Wemby, for as young as he is, seems very careful with his words. They're willing to take the next step on time. We're a year and a half in. It's time. And this is a big part. Now, Mitch Johnson last night talked about how they're going to incorporate De'Aaron Fox into the lineup.
It's the same for all the teams making trades at this time. The protocol, I'm sure, is guys flying to market, got to get physicals passed from all the parties involved to make sure it's completed. I know the trade's been announced by all teams, but you still just need all those I's dotted, T's crossed in the sense of that. And then, if there is a opportunity for De'Aaron and Jordan as well to meet us in Atlanta and be ready to go, then they'll be ready to go. I mean, they're in the season. There's no concern of ramping up conditioning or whatnot. And, we obviously know there will be a runway of learning our program and terminology and how we do things. But again, these guys have been in the league a while, and there'll be some patience and some, I'm sure, excitement on both sides from the group here waiting on them and them joining the group. And it'll just be something we work through and try to expedite as much as possible without having a ton of practice time.
Well, look, I got an idea for you, Mitch. I don't know, and I'm not a coach, but how about, hey, Darren, you bring the ball up the floor. You see that big dude over there, that guy 7'4", get him the basketball. And if you guys want to do some pick and rolls, that's great. And if for some reason he's not open, you got an area to get into the lane, go do it, and go score. Get them scoring. Have fun.
Well, the idea of the pick and roll is obviously there. You know what he's doing there. He's going to go get his. But then you also wonder how many more open times will they create for Devin Vassell. Just the idea of everything that it feels like the Spurs need, and the Spurs aren't done, or I don't know if they'll make a trade by Thursday's deadline because they still need another big. I think all of us agree they need a really, really good three-point shooter, not just somebody that's a volume three-point shooter, but somebody that can actually knock them down. So maybe they're done, maybe they're not. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, it will take them some more, I don't know, 8 minutes to figure things out. I mean, clearly he wanted this. Clearly De'Aaron Fox pushed to get to San Antonio because and I can't wait to hear him talk as a Spur for the first time, but he probably has a vision of his game paired with Wemby.
You know, I bet there's a lot of players in the league that have that vision. I mean, you get a guy like that, you want to play with him. You think that there's some championships in your future, and I can't wait to see these two guys on the floor. It may take a few games to get in rhythm, all that kind of stuff, and I get that. But look, these guys. I mean, De'Aaron Fox is a vet. He's an all-star. I don't think it's going to take him that long, and I really don't expect that. And I think these guys are going to work really well together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And look, the Spurs need something. They have not been playing well as of late. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know, but they haven't been. They've lost a lot of games over the last 20, and it has not been good. They continue to sink into the standings, and I want to see a little spark. And I hope De'Aaron Fox is the spark that they need to kind of get this thing going. I'm not expecting a championship this year, but I mean, my goodness, they can at least win a few ball games.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think the addition of De'Aaron Fox makes the Spurs team a playoff team this year. I hope I'm just not caught up in the moment that the Spurs made a massive move like they did. But how many times have we talked about this year, wondering, is this team better than what their record is? Those games where they blew double-digit leads, 5 or 6 more wins, and they would be, a playoff team as we sit right now on the 4th day of February. I think adding a De'Aaron Fox does push them into being a legit playoff team, not just a play-in team this year. My expectation is we got Fox, we're going to get better. Not great. I'm not expecting a championship, but I am expecting postseason.
Well, you brought up something a minute ago. How much is that going to open up things for Devin Vassell? Well, it's going to open things up for him. But look, he hasn't been backing anything down. I mean, it's one thing to get an open shot. It's another thing to make it. And I'd like to see him make a few more shots. That's been a problem, and last night was no exception. And so he's got to start producing. He's got a real opportunity here to be that third guy and that shooter that they need. And again, it's a deal where I love myself, but how long do you wait for this guy? It's kind of the way I feel about Keldon Johnson. Like the guy, love the way he plays. Big fan when he came in, but I think he's at the ceiling. And it wouldn't hurt my feelings if he was in another uniform. And Devin Vassell, this is your opportunity to be that guy, and you got to take advantage of it. They need shooting from the outside, and they're relying on you.
One of the things that, as we talk about Devin Vassell, it seems like times where he forgets he's not the number one option. It's Wemby. Sometimes I wonder if Devin got that memo. Now he's the number 3 option. Will he get that memo? I hope.
He's going to have to.
He is certainly going to have to. But he was a bucket getter. He was the scorer for a long time, and things changed. He's got to change with them. But Spurs certainly got better. Then he added Steph Castle, who was named the Rookie of the Month for January. Still a Spur, which is great. the idea of just everything right now, the arrow is pointing up, and as Wemby said, we're doing it on time. And even then, Don Harris from News 4 just texted Steph Kelsey's the third best player, not Devin, right? Is Devin going to get that memo? I think Kelsey will eventually be that. Is he right now? Depends on the night, but Vassell get that memo. He's actually third or fourth. You know what I mean? How's he going to fit in and react to that?
Yes, I mean, he's got the graphics and it looks like it's going to be a huge star. You still think that shots. It's a perfect opportunity for him. I still think the Spurs need to look into that. I love that Cam Johnson out of Brooklyn. I mean, that guy, I think he's a shooter, and I think when you put things up, there's some work to be done. But I'm saying Devin Vassell has an opportunity now to step up and be the guy that they can rely on to consistently knock down threes from the outside, from the wing position, and he's got to take advantage of it. Whether he's the third best or the fourth best really doesn't make any difference to me. It's going to knock down those shots when he's called for.
Knock down those shots. Oh, man, I tell you what, Spurs tomorrow night, hopefully De'Aaron Fox wearing jersey number 4 is in the lineup. We're going to go watch that game with a bunch of Spurs fans. Get into the room up there at 281 and Redmond Road, because there's no better place to watch any big game, any big football in the room. With those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around it, whether it's a Spurs game on a Wednesday night or a big football game this Sunday, because well, they get the biggest and best wings in town there at the Root Pub. They got about 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger, great chicken sandwich, great hot dogs, great appetizers. Blitz loves their salads, and that kitchen is open every day with the full menu available. The Root Pub has all the beers and a full bar. The Game Room has the best cafeteria in town and indoor cornhole. Happy every weeknight from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. And the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The Morning Huddle.
This guy calling me a loser, the guy who couldn't get laid after a lot of dates and lost papers this weekend.
But see, I can get laid tonight. I can go get some tonight.
Not if you watch the football game.
No. Your wife's already mad today.
Oh, I'm going to watch the football game, then the Spurs.
I'm going to text her from the other room. You up?
Yeah.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online. I read that Black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils. But remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise, if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkYouRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback.
I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Oh, please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
Really in the refund.
limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti.
At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water, but you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, available in all states. Potential
Happening with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom.
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies
to
how was shopping. Saw you stayed on budget.
thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
It is. You're on 94.1 San Antonio. Joe in New Orleans for our Best Bail Bonds at Radio Row coverage. Now joined by former GM Thomas Dimitroff, now running Sumer Sports.
Sumer Sports, SUMER.com, SumerSports.com. That's where we are.
And what do you do there?
I am the president of this organization. I started off 3 years ago. We were 3 people deep only. We're 75 deep. We have 45 data scientists, engineers working on all of our models. We have 25 former NFL people in there doing a lot of scouting. So we are a combination subjective, the eye of the scout, and objective. We create this really cool product. We sell to the NFL and the NCAA on NIL and portal. I love what I'm doing. I also interviewed in the NFL this year. So people are wondering like, hey, interviewed for the Jets and Tennessee. So I'm really in the mix. Got a lot of stuff going on, I guess.
So you got that itch to get back into the league, huh?
Brother, people often ask, are you interested in that? And every day of my life, I realized it, I was putting aside. And I was talking to my wife, every day of my life, I think about evaluating football players and building a football team. And next time coming back and winning the damn Super Bowl, right? Let's call it the way it is.
Yeah.
This isn't about a money play because of all the money these guys are making. This is about having an opportunity. I was going to do that, guys. Like I thought when I got fired, I thought, give me a year and then I'll come back. Then I got with the fellow who owns this is a guy named Paul Tudor Jones, big money guy. If you guys probably don't watch the networks, but he's a big UVA guy who had a ton of money and a ton of approach to building this company. And having his backing is a big deal for us. I've been in now for 3 years. How long I've been here?
Has he given you a salary cap, or is he? I mean, if he's got all that money, imagine what you can do with no salary cap.
No, but what he did say to me when he hired me as a CEO in the first 2.5 years, we switched over to the presidential role. And we hired a really good, smart data person, tech person, because my background is obviously football. But when he first hired me, he's like, and oh, by the way, you're my CEO, and you don't have to raise a cent. And I'm like, I don't have to raise a cent in the first time being a CEO because that's not my background. So we did some growing. It was good. Life's
wow. Well, that's really cool. And I'm glad to hear that you want to get back in and build a team. So I got a scenario for you. Then Myles Garrett comes to you and says, I want to be traded. What do you do with that?
Wow. That's one of those things. Your initial is you're offended, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, really? Then part of me was, well, then go get the hell out of here. Then that's not realistic. Then you're like trying to do whatever you can to do damage control, right? That's what you try to do. Like, hey man, just calm down. Let's get this taken care of. But he's stout about that. And then what you do is you sit back and you really start thinking, okay, what's the next steps here? There's a lot of potential draft booty, and to do something like that, you're talking about probably two 1s and a 3-ish Khalil Mack type of trade. Like that's a big deal. This guy can still rock it, as you know. And I think I know as Andrew Bear, and I have a great deal of respect for Andrew Bear, and I like Kevin Stefanski a lot. I like those guys. They've had some tough stuff going there, right? This is a tough run for them. This is going to be really interesting to see how they handle this. I just will be interested. I think the guy can come now. Where do you go? Do you go to Dan Quinn? I'm a big, DQ and I are really close. Like, what do you do there? Or, I still think Detroit. I mean, I was a big proponent, and I don't know if it was right or wrong, but I thought Max Crosby should have made that move if he could have. But it wasn't up to him, right? I thought they could utilize that. I think that team could utilize. So there's some teams out there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Potential.
Yeah. Well, as we visit with Thomas Dimitroff here on the Blitz, we're the South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. Could you imagine Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons on the same defense?
I didn't even go there. That's a great point. I know you guys are leading me down there. I'm sure you'll talk to the owner and try to get him to consider that.
Well, I mean, a couple of things. I mean,
yes.
if it costs him a one and that means he doesn't go get Genty, that's probably a good thing for the Cowboys.
That's a good thought. That's a GM thought there. I like that. That's good.
Would Jerry have that thought?
I don't know. You guys know that better than I do. I try to be very politically correct about things these days.
It's the GM that might be the problem there, man. And maybe not necessarily the owner, but the GM.
Yeah.
Since they're one and the same, but it's the GM part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Look, I just think when you're these other teams that are thinking about, I know you guys keep coming back to Dallas and you should, that's your world. You're right. Those two guys together, those two cats on the defense together could just turn it upside down. And then I think about Dan Quinn, though. By the way, when Dan left there, by the way, were you guys thinking, okay, he deserved his second chance? Is that? I mean, I know I'm not interviewing you guys.
I'll be honest because it's fun. When it was time, the defense was struggling. Like I go back to that Seattle game when Leighton Vander Esch got hurt. That defense wasn't as good for whatever reason. Just one guy made that much of a difference. But I've always felt like if Dan Quinn didn't get a head coaching job after interviewing the year before, he was going to be the scapegoat for Mike McCarthy. Somebody on that staff was going to go. And since Mike McCarthy was also the play caller, it was going to fall on DQ.
I see. Yeah. Well, he goes up there and everyone's asking me, that. I mean, his leadership ability and his energy is going into a situation. It was kind of flipped role reversal. When he came into Atlanta, he was the guy that was a neophyte, the rookie guy coming in, and I was a guy who had 7 years under my belt. Now he's going up there with Adam Peters. Adam's a first-time guy as a GM. Dan's got the 6 or 7 years or whatever behind him. So I think that's why they pulled things off there, and I think it's a really important part. I know you weren't going in that direction, but I think it's always amazing to see what's going on in this league with the proper pairing of head coaches and GMs. It's fresh on my mind, of course.
Well, yeah, let's talk Washington, because I think what Dan Quinn did there, and obviously Cliff Kingsbury as well. We're big Cliff Kingsbury fans also, but just a change of culture, I think, with Washington. And it's not all Dan Quinn, obviously, but with the new ownership group and all of that, it just seems like a fresh team to me.
That's a fresh team. And we all went in, just like you guys did. You're like, okay, it's good. They're not a great roster necessarily. They have building to do there. Who would have thought? Everyone would have thought, like, hey, Jaden Daniels is a legit. But who would have thought that he had the savvy and the awareness and at every level being able to perform as he did, sets a tone with the head coach, the GM doing the good stuff that he's doing. And then you start thinking about, even Zach Ertz, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I thought, oh, you need to get some youth there. I still believe, by the way, I'm a huge believer in a stout tight end group, right? You get one stud there, the FY guy, the combination, you get another guy. That's a big deal for those young quarterbacks. This guy, however, is not the guy that just needs some of the short and intermediate routes. We did that with Matt Ryan, right? We brought in Tony Gonzalez. We traded for him. It was one of the biggest free agency moves I had ever made because we had to. And so I just think continue to build that way. And anyway, I think they're in a good spot, but they have holes or areas to build in. And I think that'll be fun to watch how they're going to put that all together.
Thomas Dimitroff joining us here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You said the pairing, and I thought that was an interesting choice of words, pairing a head coach with the general manager. What were your thoughts on the Brian Schottenheimer hire in Dallas?
I'm a fan of that family. I've known that family a long time, so you might be backing me into the wrong situation here. I like him. I know you guys can tell me more about it. I wasn't surprised necessarily. I hadn't heard his name in the mix. It wasn't like his name was on all of my lists, right? In the sense of, you guys know this, right? As a guy, a former GM or a GM that's interviewing for jobs, out of jobs and interviewing for jobs, you tend to take 10, 15, 20 head coaches, and you make calls and you interact with them, you start trying to figure out how would my connection be with this guy, right? He happens to be one that I didn't have that conversation with, right? It was a lot of the other guys you heard the names, right? So probably a bit surprising to me from that standpoint only, but I can't comment on it from a sort of a depthness standpoint. I don't know how I'd even approach that.
As a general manager, when you're hiring a head coach, what are some of the things that you're looking for? What are some of the questions you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with, I'm going to go in there and say, okay, what is your opinion about team building? What's your definition, and what do you see this team being? Meaning big, fast, strong, smart, athletic, explosive, whatever those mean, whatever those are, making sure you get an idea of where that goes, how they believe in building the team, what is their involvement in building the team, i.e. evaluation, where are they with their coaching staff and their involvement in free agency and the draft. That's the big thing for a GM, right? How do you interact with GMs? What do you see that relationship being? Really pressing them on that, because you can get out of those interviews sometimes before we even get to the scheme side of it. You can really determine quickly, this cat's not the kind of guy I really want to be dealing with, because he's going to be siloed with his coaching staff. The great thing with Dan is Dan was one of the best to have Quinn as a coach who allowed his coaches and then I would allow, I hate saying that, but we would allow everyone to spend time together. The coaches and the scouts would spend time. We would all pair off. They would all pair off. The linebacker coach would go with one of our scouts who was really focused on the linebackers. And we do a lot of work that way. And I think that's important. So trying to figure that out, making sure, the last thing I'd say is being really communicative. If you're talking to a head coach in today's world and you don't communicate clearly, I don't think you have a chance. I'm not saying there's some guys that have that quiet mode. I'm not saying just a, chatty Cathy. I'm just saying someone that can be clear enough to make sure they don't sweep stuff under the rug. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. The quickest way to be at loggerheads and be in a bad spot is you keep burying things and you don't address the things that are on your mind. So those are a number. I could go on and on.
Sure.
It's an exciting topic for me, because it is so important, and how many people make mistakes. And when you ask me about pairing, I'm sorry, I'm going on and on.
No.
The pairing thing today, even the Jets, right? When I was in that process, and that was the first interview of that whole process, and as it started getting closer, and I realized, my God, they're going to hire the head coach before they hire the GM. That is something that's not how I was raised, right? I'm not saying it can't happen, but what Rick Spielman and Mike Tannenbaum were doing, they were in charge of the search there. They started playing this chess game, and this is not derogatory. That's why they were brought in. They were, hey, one time, one part of the week is, hey, we can get this GM, but if we can get this head coach, well, I don't think he pairs with that guy really well. Let's bring this other GM up here. Okay, at one time they were going to come in and really think about having from the outset. The reason I even interviewed at New York, and I have a great deal of respect for their president, Jaime Eli, is I want to interview if you guys are serious about thinking about an experienced guy. If you're just bringing me there to tap into my knowledge and see or whatever, I wasn't interested in that. That's where they were going at the beginning. But in the end, it ended up being two neophytes. That was me and Mike Smith. You can do it. I like Darren Muji a lot. Aaron Glenn is a really good football coach. Those guys are, they're going to do their deal, but they're first timers in a city that you could say maybe needs some experience somewhere. But they decided to go a different direction. I think those guys can get it done for sure.
Although I would think if they're bringing back Aaron Rodgers, they need some experience there to deal with a player like Aaron Rodgers. Now, Thomas, you talk about all the different scenarios, and there's 32 jobs. So how picky can you really be? If there's an opening, do you just automatically apply? Or are there situations, you don't have to name a team, but that job came open, there's no way in hell you'd apply for it?
No, I think what happens more and more now, I remember when I first got into this business and I was around Bill Belichick, of course, because I was with New England, et cetera, but I'm really close with Scott Pioli, if you know that name. Scott's related to Bill Parcells through marriage. And he would tell me these stories, and Bill Parcells would say, as I understood, was like, there are 5 guys that I could work for. And I used to think, this was back in the day. I'm like, 5 guys? I'll work for 32. Give me, but now at my point in my career, you're a lot choosier, right? I'm like, I don't know if and you've seen, and we won't get into names, but some people have left the ownership world, and maybe those are some guys that were complicated to work with. And it's just interesting with the new people buying the teams. It's very different than the family owned, right? those business guys that are coming in, it's about wins and losses. Arthur Blank was a great owner for me to work for. I appreciate it. He fired me in the end, and I have my issues with that. Of course, we still get along really well, but my biggest thing is I just think Arthur was a guy after two years, and that's what I feel a lot of the business guys are. Like David Tepper, I'm not answering for him, of course, but guys like that who come from the finance world, man, you hit it, you're fine. 2 years in, man, it gets hot fast, and it got hot with me a number of times with Arthur. We pulled out of it that last year with Dan and me. We just couldn't pull out of that funk.
Tom, I'm curious because football is, it's a tough game, right? Especially for GMs and for head coaches. When you get fired like that, and you, it's still got to hurt. That's part of the business, but that's still got to be a punch in the gut, sucks. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a punch in the gut because, I was there for 13 drafts and free agencies in that role, 12 and a half. But that's where I took exception to Arthur a little bit. Like I thought I was going to survive the end to the end of the season. Let's step back and see what we could have done. If not, then we move on. I get that. Yeah, that's tough. I think the biggest thing, and I say to everyone out here, how you're judged as a GM to start is your ability to pick the quarterback, manage the quarterback situation. Let's call it the way it is. You could do all you do on everything else, but if you're not doing that part of your job in today's world, you're struggling. I was very fortunate to have Matt Ryan we had him the whole time there. In that whole time, 1.5 games he missed. I was so fortunate, right? He had his ups and downs. We should have won the Super Bowl, should have, could have, whatever. In my mind, we should have been close to doing what we did. We lost it. And it hurts because I start thinking about, and I guess it hurts, whatever that word is. It's a competitive side, right?
Sure.
There were things we could have done differently, and we always look at that. And that's why now when I'm interviewing, and it's funny because when you're a first-time interviewer, you can say anything that sounds good, right? Oh, man, I like this. I can walk this guy to the podium because he said this, 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 and this. I don't care how good you are, even if you don't have a lot of enemies, when you're a second-timer, as coaches as well, of course, they're digging up bones, right? They are looking at everything that you did. They're talking to that search group, as I understood, were responsible to talk to 15 different people each. So they had 45 people that were talking to on my behalf. And you're going to have some people that are naysayers, right?
Yes.
In those situations. And whatever, it could be the area scout who he never paid attention to me. Whatever that means. I'm being a little bit facetious about it. It's a weird track back into those roads. And a lot of people, as you know, very few GMs get a second chance.
I'm curious as we visit with Thomas Dimitroff here, not football related, but GM related. I imagine at times it can be a very lonely job because you make a move and the whole world goes, what the hell did that guy just do? Like what we just saw this week in Dallas with Nico Harrison trading away Luke, a 25-year-old superstar.
It's a big deal.
A lot of stones to pull that off.
Yeah.
And that's either going to get him a raise or fired pretty quick, right? But what's it like having to make a decision like that?
I think, and that basketball situation is really fascinating to me for a number of reasons. I have a great deal of respect for Sam Presti as well over there at OKC. And those guys, when you talk to them from a basketball standpoint, it feels a little bit different. When I think about us on the football side, you can't sit on your hands. You have to be aggressive in today's NFL, not for long. I know we throw that around a lot. You have to. That's why Howie Roseman is one of the best at what he does right now. Howie and Brett Veach, they're both at the top of their games. But Howie, what he does, I'm a big believer in that. You can't be the conservative tiptoe around guy. And with that means that the longevity of your career might be limited. You might either hit on them or not. When Julio Jones went down and we did that in 2011, I swear to God, half the world thought my head was wherever. And the other is like, wow, maybe he's got something figured. I remember standing there arm in arm with Arthur Blank, and they announce it. We're watching it on the big screen. And I think it was Gruden. He showed Julio Jones drop like 15 balls in a row. And you rarely see that. And I'm sitting there, my owner drops my arm and he looks at me. He's like, kidding me? And it's just one of those things. But that's life, right? So you're right. It's a lonely world for sure. You just have to have the ability to deal with that. And you have to have the ability to deliver those hard messages to the players and to your staff and to your coaching staff, right? Because that's another thing that's not easy. Not just your coach, the assistant coaches. If you're not direct with them, you get such a reputation right away for being, laissez-faire, wishy-washy. You can't be that. I don't think you can pull it off in the league anymore.
So you got to make a decision and then go with it, whether win, lose, or draw in that situation. And I find it interesting because GMs have a very difficult job. If you've got a player, and we opened up the conversation with Myles Garrett, if you needed some salary cap help, for example, with a guy you're about to pay a lot of money to, and he's a very popular guy in that particular franchise, and you make that call, I mean, I don't think fans will ever understand it, but I mean, do you have to get, just a big haul in return? I mean, we remember Herschel Walker and that big deal way back that Jimmy Johnson pulled off, and it gave the Cowboys, I think, 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I think, when you start thinking about that, and this was brought up as well, if you're dealing with a team potentially, you're Cleveland, you're like, you want the best pick possible. If you're at 25, 28, 29, you're like, gosh, that's really a second round pick ultimately, right? And everyone's like, well, would you just, would you turn your head to that and say, no, I'm not going to do that? Here's what I would say. When you're in the middle of that and what Andrew Berry's dealing with right now, all he truly wants in the very end, and it gets closer to that, is I need to do a deal on this. So I can sit here and get particular and try to think about 5, 6, and 7 in the draft. The fact is, in the end, if I can get 25, 26, 27, I got to take that and go. I got to, so I think it's a realistic point. This is a very complicated thing, I think, for Andrew Berry right now. I said that earlier too.
Well, I mean, and you look at, I know there's a formula, a value chart. Everybody has their, what they want in return, but what realistically they're going to get. And, I look at like what Dallas did, and I think, what is Nico thinking? On the next day, the Spurs pull off an incredible trade to get De'Aaron Fox. And you think about Pop and RC and Brian Wright, and they're playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, it seems like.
No, that's right. I mean, that's the kind of thing that coming back to the GMs in this deal, right? There are some guys that are playing chess for sure, and Howie Roseman is playing chess when you start talking about the management and the action on all of this. And again, Andrew Berry's a Harvard guy, right? He's a smart cat for sure, and he can, it's going to be interesting to see. We'll continue to beat that up, but yeah.
I find this fascinating. We go on with you all day, and I just got to ask you this one question. The Ben Johnsons, the Aaron Glenns, the young guys that are coming out that are the so-called, geniuses that are coming out. Is it tough to hire a guy like that and take a chance on somebody like that?
Yeah, I think, Aaron's a little bit different, right? Because he's 50-something years old. He's not the 30 deal. I continue to say this. And this, you look at Sean McVay, he was an anomaly in this, right? Just because people have his tree doesn't mean they're all going to follow. We know that. I think it is complicated. I mean, I think it's a good mix when the league, like I said, has some of those guys doing that and, and then also having the experience. That's not just for my own ulterior motive, right? I believe this league, the New York teams right now are going to benefit from continuing to have experience there in one way or another. And I think the league needs that. I think they need a nice mix of both. Yep.
Thomas Dimitroff, Sumer Sports.
Yep. SUMER.SumerSports.com.
And people can go there.
We can go there. You guys can go there and check it out. Yeah, get educated, right?
Get educated.
I call them all the time, and they get mad at me. They don't get mad at me. They know I'm saying it lovingly. I said, there's the football side of Sumer Sports, and then there's a propeller head side of Sumer Sports. We all remember the propeller head. We're old enough to remember that kid sitting in the back of the house. But they're wildly intelligent and great people that I'm working with, and we're just continuing to evolve, and I love it. We have some really intelligent people that I learn every day from, so it's good for me.
Well, I hope to see you in the front office pretty soon.
I appreciate it. I do too. We'll see you.
Yeah, guys. Good stuff. Thomas Dimitroff here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars. We continue with our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage brought to you by Flight by Yuengling. Circa Las Vegas. We're going to Circa
again in
March. Synergenx testosterone and weight loss. Smokey Mo's barbecue and Southern recipe pork rinds. As we roll on, good friend Ryan Leaf is going to join us coming up here in a bit here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, if it feels like you're lacking energy, a little moody, your libido isn't what it used to be, it could be caused by low testosterone. Don't wait to get tested. I recommend the providers at Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss because their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. Not all TRT is the same. At Synergenx, you'll get a personally optimized TRT treatment plan from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy. Book that initial appointment now at synergenxhealth.com. Testosterone starts to decline in your 30s. So if you're feeling that loss of energy and drive, it could be low T. Go get checked at Synergenx Testosterone Weight Loss. They also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. And for current patients, Synergenx offers a $150 referral credit when you refer a new patient. Get started. Get that VIP treatment with the TRT experts at Synergenx. That appointment, book it now, synergenxhealth.com, SYNERGENX health.com for Synergenx Testosterone and weight loss.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. Your home for the NFL.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
Wow! Most cars and pickup trucks can have a ceramic film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint starting at just $199. That's an incredible price. If you shop around, you'll find that competitors charge hundreds of dollars more. Plus, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Mother's Window Tint offers up to 60 different film options to fit all price ranges. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has been known as the home of the tint and alarm special. If you're looking to enhance your vehicle security to the highest level, visit Mother's Window Tint today, where security systems start at just $399. Call us at 210-496-3454. That's 210-496-3454. Or visit us online at motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mothers and save!
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like saddling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
That big old cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers. See taxslayer.com for eligibility.
What's wrong, Cupid? Lost my mojo. These arrows just don't work like they used to. The facts are people falling in love thanks to Connecticut, not poor old Cupid. You don't say. Oh, absolutely. Look over there. She's got silky smooth hair thanks to a Connecticut water softener. He's got softer skin and cleaner clothes, and now they're all lovey-dovey. Makes me sick. Don't feel bad, Cupid. You still have your bow and arrow. I know a Connecticut runs on kinetic energy like my bow and arrow. There's no computer to break. A Connecticut has it all.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
You know, you're right. I love my Connecticut too. My diapers never looked so white. And my wings, oh, I look good. Cupid, you can always come to work for me, but you're going to have to wear pants.
ConnecticalSA.com.
License number 38961.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs rookie Steph Castle has been named as the Western Conference Rookie of the Month for January. Castle joins Victor Wembanyama as the only two Spur players to win that award in the last 20 years. Now the Spurs rodeo road trip hit a speed bump last night in Memphis. They lost to the Grizzlies. They return to action, though, in Atlanta tomorrow night against the Hawks, where the newest Spur, De'Aaron Fox, is expected to make his debut. The Blitz continues on Radio Row.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss. SynergenxHealth.com.
Our AA Best Bell Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star, Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. In New Orleans, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues. Expect to have Ryan Leaf step in any moment now, but, you know, typical with all the people all over Radio Row, people's schedules get a little wonky.
Well, I think we kept Thomas Dimitroff a little long, too, so somebody's probably cussing us right now.
I asked what his out time was. He said 3. So.
All right, I just had a little something pop up on my computer here. Cooper Kupp's potential fit in Dallas. I love it, dude. Are you kidding me to put him next to CD Lamb? And I'm not saying he's a long-term answer, obviously, because I think his career is winding down. But to have a guy like that who is solid, who is clutch, who would demand coverage on the other side, I think that would open things up for CD on one side. Cooper Kupp would be that guy that just gets you the tough yards, the 7, 8, 9, 10 yards that you need for a first down. I would love to see at least – kick the tires on that guy, Jerry.
I would love to see Cooper Kupp from 5 years ago. My problem with Cooper Kupp is the reason why the Rams are putting him on the block. He hadn't played a lot over a while. There you are. Ryan Leaf showing up as we're talking about Cooper Kupp getting potentially traded. Ryan Leaf, good friend, man. How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
Me and your daughter just chopping it up. You know we go way back, her and I.
You know, it's crazy you say that. I want to say freshman, sophomore year at Sam Houston State, you were doing a thing at Houston and hanging out.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long. I'm a girl dad now too.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've come full circle here, and so I'll be probably coming to you for some advice here pretty soon. She's already got me wrapped around her little finger. So
it doesn't change. You know, the word no doesn't really exist.
She's learning the word no, though.
Yeah, she's not really.
She hears me say no, and she's like,
"What?"
Yeah.
I mean, that might come from mom, but not dad.
No, dad wouldn't do that.
Dad's just kidding. He's playing. Yeah, that's for sure. You sat down. We got to ask you. We're just talking about Cooper Kupp. And, the Rams are talking about, putting him on the market. I'm saying Dallas might be a good spot for him.
Well, I mean, I think every team out there, if you looked around and saw Cooper Kupp at a discounted rate, I would suspect every team would think that. The reason why Los Angeles is doing this is because of the money factor. In terms of it's an analytical game, and you have to put up side by side the amount of money you're paying them and the contribution. Puka Nacua has really become the number one guy there after the injuries, after the Super Bowl with Cooper Kupp. And so that's the reason why he's not being let go because he's not still a great player. He's being let go because it's not commensurate with what he's being paid. Now, if LA could do something and try to convince him to renegotiate his contract, but if you're Cooper, you just go, I can't do that. I can't set that precedent. I want to play, but you paid me the contract, Look,
$7.5 million roster bonus, $12.5 million salary for next year for a guy that's missed 18 games in the last 3 years. He's 31. Clearly the Rams aren't getting the value of it. And, as a Cowboy fan, I'd love to have Cooper Kupp from 4 or 5 years ago, but this Cooper Kupp, I don't think so. I mean, depending on what I'm giving up draft wise, but there might be other options that maybe didn't help your fantasy team as much as Cooper Kupp did 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
But that's why, GMs get paid what they do.
I think he'd be so impactful for the young guys, but I mean, it's going to have to be in terms of what you're giving up and what you're paying him. It's just, that's what it is. It's so he can't go into it thinking that he's deserved of wide receiver 1 money. This would be, but I think he would be, and what he was able to do for and with Puka Nacua over the last 2 years is unbelievable. If you went and asked Puka Nacua anything about Cooper Kupp, he would tell him it's the only reason I'm where I'm at right now, because he learned from the best in the business, and then you add the knowledge and the physicality of what Puka Nacua brings to the table, then it's just a different problem, and it's crazy. And so that's tough for Matthew Stafford. It's tough for Sean McVay, but it just, you have to look at the number that he's being paid in comparison to what he's contributed, and it's not a viable thing when you are a money and numbers business.
The NFL can be a cruel business, can it? When it comes to that, it really can.
It can. I mean, it's Cooper Kupp has shown that he's smarter and understanding of scheme and offense, and can do what he can do. What sucks about it is like what has made this ultimately become defunct is that he was so good that he got this huge deal, and then he's been dealing with injuries for the last 3 years, so he hasn't got to get a chance to live up to those expectations, and now he's got to pay the price for it because he wasn't able to do it. Maybe if he wasn't as good, if he was just kind of run of the mill, he's the middle line of it, didn't get as many opportunities, didn't get hurt, and he's still they're like, man, he's perfect for what we do. He doesn't make too much, and he contributes like crazy. That's the way it goes. Yeah.
Ryan Leaf joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Everybody knows your story by now. We've talked about it on this show a bunch, but dude, your broadcasting career is just blowing up.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Apparently I'm articulate sometimes.
You got that voice too. It's good.
I got a face for radio. Is that how it works?
That's what they tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, stop.
You know what? It's an art form. I mean, it is. There's guys that you've seen the greatest football mind of all time, and Tom Brady kind of really struggled with it this year, and I feel like he's getting better. But don't get me wrong, you got to learn. This is something that you have to have the 10,000 hours part of it, and luckily for me, I've just kept at it. Guys have given me opportunities, and then when I go into the game, I'm prepared, but I also go into it with the mindset of I'm sitting on the couch with my dad calling a football game. Plain and simple. That's all it is. So when I'm in a studio on Good Morning Football and we're talking ball, there's nothing emotional about it. I'm not being critical of the person. I'm being critical of the decision that was made and analyzing the football of it all. And regardless of what you think of me as a NFL football player, I know more about the game of football than most people will ever in their life, and so I can analyze it well. I couldn't play it as well in real time like that. That's the difference, and there's a very few amount of people that can do that. I mean, heck, there's 370 Pro Football Hall of Famers ever. So I find it funny when people are like, "Why should this guy be the analyst on this?" And I'm like, "Because I was one of the best to ever do this, bro." So let's check ourselves here a little bit about what mom's meatloaf tastes like in your basement tomorrow. So, it is what it is. I love getting what I get to do. I will say the sports broadcasting world's a little kind of, there's some really not great people out there in that world. And so I've been kind of moving a little bit away from it. I've been starting to do some things differently, more purposeful. I'm now the host of the Last Mile Radio, where we go into prisons and we talk about the program and the educational programming that we're giving to those individuals in there and for when they get out. I was just in San Quentin 2 weeks ago, which is crazy. We're telling their stories. We're telling the stories of other people that have a remarkable knowledge and information around having been justice impacted and found their path and have changed other people's lives because of it. And it's on Sirius XM on Saturdays and Sundays, and on Triumph and Urban View. And it's just been, and that's the purposeful part of it, right? because bottom line, if I appreciate you saying that, but if the broadcasting thing went away, who cares? It's we lose everything and we'll be just fine. We got each other, and the three of us are the only thing that's really, really important. So.
Well, that's awesome, but I find that you took the step into broadcasting sports, and then you're finding other things to do with that.
Yep.
And that's typical in this business, right? I mean, doors open up all the time, but you talk about, obviously, a hell of a lot about football, but a hell of a lot about second chances and getting guys back up on their feet.
Yeah, man, I got more life experience than a 48-year-old ever should probably, but it served me well. It's the last 10 years have been incredible. What this life has given me because of a choice to make it about other people. That's amazing. As a narcissist, and most quarterbacks, don't get us wrong, right? Most quarterbacks are narcissists. That's just the way it goes. Everything's usually about you. But I always used to think that to make my life better, everything had to be about me. What I was getting out of the deal, what you were doing for me, and clearly, and that just doesn't work. That's not how it works. What works is when you make it about somebody else, your life gets better. And that's not something that I thought was real, and it's real. And if anybody's ever followed my story or seen it, what these last 10 years have exhibited and shown is that's exactly it. I've never made it about myself again. Like, it is about, I make it about other people all the time. What that really does well for me too is it removes me from the equation. Like, if I'm having a bad day, or I think somebody's, I feel like I'm the victim in some way, shape, or form. I go, get out of yourself, man. Go help somebody else. This isn't a you problem. This is a different scenario. So that's the best kind of, information I can give people on when they want to get out of themselves, or they feel like, people are out to get them, or it's not fair, or something like that.
Ryan Leaf joining us here on the Blitz Radio Row in New Orleans, getting ready for Kansas City, Philadelphia, analytically, because Cowboy fan, man. I go Chiefs, right? Because an NFC.
Both these quarterbacks have been born, raised, played a little football in Pop Warner.
Here we go.
Went to college.
Here we go.
And are now playing in a championship game. In their lifespan, the Cowboys have never done anything. No one knows. Like if you ask Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts about the Cowboys, they'd go, "Huh?"
And they're both Texas kids.
I know, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen them play for a championship, let alone win one. What are you talking about?
That's on VHS.
Yep.
Well, they may know that Troy Aikman guy just because he's a broadcaster now. Right?
Yeah, but I don't think they know that Troy won anything.
No, it's crazy. Who's going to win on Sunday?
I just think it's inevitable. It's the Chiefs are going to go and get their third. Well, listen to this. Okay, so the way that Philly wins is they blow them out. That's the only way. 31-10. Craig Gass. And so that's my boy. And I think that they do what Tampa did to them. And that was Kansas City didn't show up. In that, Kansas City didn't show up with any old linemen. They didn't have anybody healthy. That's the only way they do it. So I think it's a high scoring, good football game once again. I don't think Philly does anything to lose it necessarily. I think that Kansas City just gets into a one-possession game, has the ball last, whether they kick it to win it or they hold it to get a first down to end it. Doesn't matter. We're going Kansas City 31, Philadelphia 28.
Ryan Leaf, Believe NFL analyst in your new show, The Last Mile Radio. All on the Believe Network, huh?
Well, that and SiriusXM, yeah.
And SiriusXM and CW doing Pac-12, Wazoo, all that good stuff. Ryan, good seeing you, man.
Nice. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Ryan Leaf here on Radio Row in New Orleans. Coming up, we'll talk some Spurs with that loss last night to start the rodeo road trip. And Solomon Wilcots will join us at 3:30 here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59.
I like this kind of party.
The Philadelphia Eagles face the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday at 5:30. The Chiefs, led by MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes, aims for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl victory, a feat never achieved in NFL history. Meanwhile, the Eagles, with a formidable defense and a dynamic offense, are ready to challenge the reigning champions. Don't miss a moment of this historic matchup, presented locally by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Sunday at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for Super Bowl 59.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Summer or winter Texas weather doesn't do anything halfway, and neither should your roofer. You need a local roofer you can trust. That is Stevens Roofing. You know, Texas roofs are not designed for freezing weather. When ice and snow melt, water seeps into the little cracks, then refreezes, creating bigger cracks. That means leaks or maybe worse. Don't wait to see what damage has occurred. Call Stevens Roofing today for a free inspection. 210-785-0994. That's 210-785-0994. For Stevens Roofing.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Pizza craving? We've got you covered at Round Table Pizza. We've been crafting pizzas with premium, high-quality ingredients for over 60 years. From our made-from-scratch dough to our savory toppings piled all the way to the edge. Find your nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom.
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
we can be twinsies
to
how was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. Then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it. And now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze Fabric Spray? Ooh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for my good friends over at Prize Picks. It is now or never. The big game is almost here. Don't miss out on the last big one of the season. And Prize Picks is the absolute best place to win cash while watching the big game. And I'm talking about serious cash, 1,000 times your money. And it is so easy to do. And on top of that, we've got money for you. Just check out the promos tab to tail any of our super sweet Millie winners. Big game lineups, you can get them. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win up to $1 million. That's part of the promo finds. That's why you go to Prize Picks. I'll tell you what, you want some cash? Use the code Alamo. You get $50 instantly after you play your first game. That's a $5 lineup with 2 times the money. Let's go play Prize Picks. You've been putting it off all year long, or you've been playing along with the other 10 million. Prize Picks is the place to be. Go run your game.
Tomorrow morning at 6, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Check them out on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Don't take my Doritos, RJ Ochoa.
Dude, they'll let anybody in here, won't they?
Dude, RJ's
Holy
just such
cow.
an only child. He just got to go move stuff.
Even guys that want to trade Micah Parsons, they'll let him in here.
Here we go. No. Look, I want to have a real. I mean, this excites me. This headline in the Express News.
Yes.
Exclusive. Governor Greg Abbott says he supports Texas legalizing sports gambling. This has been tweeted to us in the last couple of minutes by, 6, 7 other people. 4 or 5 friends have texted it to me because Governor Abbott is ready to allow online sports betting in the great state of Texas. And the money quote, "I don't have a problem with online sports betting," Abbott said in an interview at the governor's mansion with the Texas Take podcast. Quote, "The reality is that I'd be shocked if there were not some Texans that do it already."
I don't know who. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't know. If you're watching on YouTube, you're not looking at 2 of them right
No,
now.
Not at all. Of course not.
Dude, make it happen. 39 other states do this. Let's make it happen. This is the kind of comment gets the ball rolling. He throws his support. The term strongest in support of an industry that has ramped up its lobbying and political giving in recent years.
Dude, I'm telling you what, I get stuff all the time now. People wanting me to sign this petition or reach out to whoever my state legislature guy is or girl is, and I do it, and I so I think it is gaining some steam. And if Greg Abbott is coming out and saying that he's all for this, that's good. I don't know how much longer he has. I mean that in all sincerity, obviously not in his life, but as his term of Texas governor, because I don't want him to leave and then that Dan Patrick guy come in and screw everything up.
That's the problem.
So so we need to make this thing happen, and we need to make it happen now. Put it on the ballot in November. Let's go. I mean, I don't see why that'd be an issue. Let's go get this thing ramped up and put it on the ballot in November and let the people decide.
Well, my problem with Dan Patrick is he makes it all political as opposed to what do the people want. I want it on the ballot and let the people decide. If Texas voters vote no, I'll be unhappy, but that's how it is. Dan Patrick has repeatedly said he doesn't have enough Republicans in the Senate who support the idea. And it's been Democrat-led bills in the past. That's the kind of stuff that I don't like. And you're right. I mean, Dan Patrick, who runs the Senate, kind of holds the keys here. But when you get the governor publicly supporting it, well, that tells me the lobby money is getting deep. But also probably more and more want it. And even though these guys might not, eventually they're going to have to.
I just think it's there's so much money to be made. And again, I've been saying it for years. You can't legislate morality. All right. If people want to gamble, they're going to gamble. People want to drink, they're going to drink. Whatever. They're going to find a way to do it, whether it's lawful or not. And Texas is making no money from all of those people that Governor Abbott there is saying that I'm sure some Texans do it. Yeah, they do. There's a bunch of Texans that do it. And some other state or the Cayman Islands is getting the tax revenue and the benefit of it, not the state of Texas. And so it just doesn't make any sense. We have some of the highest property taxes in the country. And I just think that this would benefit everybody to have this happen. You don't have to gamble if you don't want to. Nobody's going to force you to gamble. But if other people want to do it, they should be allowed to do it and do it legally in the state of Texas.
And again, I mean, Texans love to gamble. There's a reason why we've partnered with Circa Las Vegas. There's a reason why we are going back to Circa Las Vegas to host the Blitz in late March. Second round of the tournament, Sweet 16, opening day of Major League Baseball. Book your room at circalasvegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ, and you're going to save some money, 20%. But one of the reasons why that partnership was started is because Texans, specifically San Antonians, specifically a lot of Blitz listeners have gone out there with us before, and Circa knows that's a great place for marketing. Because Texas is ready. Derek Stevens, who owns Circa Las Vegas, has talked on our show before. He expects Texas sooner rather than later. He probably is more in the know than most of us. But also by waiting, he thinks, and as said before, Texans will do it better than a lot of other states because there have been some states that have done it well, some states that have legalized it poorly. You can learn from those mistakes and take what the states that are doing well, take that, capitalize on it, make it better. So by waiting, as much as it sucks, it probably ends up being better in the long haul.
Well, and you can get those people that now in the Dallas Mavericks, get them back in the casino business and out of the sports business after they make trades like the one they made on Saturday night. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Again, why did they buy the Mavericks and start buying land up there in Dallas?
Yeah, they're nice people.
Because they're all reading those tea leaves. And now Governor Abbott is on record with his strongest comments in support. That's great news, isn't it?
It's fantastic. I love that
Step
headline, and that's great. And if Patrick's looking for Republican support, there's not a bigger Republican in the state of Texas than the governor.
True.
There you go.
True. We'll continue here from Radio Row in New Orleans. Solomon Wilcots joins us coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you still need some winter gear done. Jackets, coats, half-zips, hoodies. Sam has them all on display right now in his showroom. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display, just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands. He has all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Under Armour, Port Authority, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, certainly no order too small. And all items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs get busy again in Atlanta, and trade deadline is looming. We'll talk about it.
And Radio Row underway out in New Orleans. We'll see what's going on out there, and we'll start discussing that game that's happening on Sunday. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
What's up, football fans? Are you excited for the big game and ready to get in on the action? Look no further than the BetMGM Sportsbook app. Sign up using bonus code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, to get up to $1,500 in bonus bonus bets if your first bet loses. Be sure to lock in your picks on this year's big game in New Orleans with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Earn MGM rewards points from your bets, take advantage of offers found nowhere else, and look out for surprise rewards dropping in your account all year. There's no better place to enjoy the big game than BetMGM. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This specific promotional offer is not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
George Gets Justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hey, it's James Pledger. If you played Pick 6 from DraftKings, well, you better get on it. It's Super Bowl 59, the last time to play NFL Pick 6 this season. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like nobody else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Just select 2 or more players, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like touchdowns, yardage, sacks, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5 to get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star in New Orleans for our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. You know, it's a tradition that we visit with Solomon Wilcots every year on Radio Row. I think it's 14. I mean, we're good friends. We spend about 15 minutes together every year.
It's like a family reunion.
Absolutely. I mean, and Solly, we've got an interesting spot here because it's right by the wing spot.
You do. You really do. There's no doubt. And the smells is wafting as we sit here and speak. So I thought you guys would have some wings over here for me. Where are they?
We did.
Had.
There you go. I don't blame you.
Being the key. Although we probably they closed for the day.
Yeah. They said I think I saw it there 4:00. It's 3:30. Go get a wing.
We'll get you some.
Absolutely.
That's what we're providing our guests with wings.
Yeah.
When they have them ready.
Yeah. Great location, by the way.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah.
You know, Solly, you think about every year Super Bowl Radio Row, the Chiefs back in it.
Yeah.
A rematch of what we saw 2 years ago. But going for a three-peat, you think about your history playing in the NFL, the idea of getting to 3, let alone winning 3. do we just take it for granted? I mean, can you talk about just how difficult this is for that Chiefs football team?
Yeah, we always say heavy is the head that wears the crown. You think that a team that's the defending champion, everybody is going to be gunning for them, right? And that these games would be hard for them to win. Then they go and win 2 in a row. And so now you think they're really going to struggle now. And not only at the start of the season do they lose Hollywood Brown, they lose Rashee Rice. Isaiah Pacheco was lost for the first month of the season, right? And they just continue to win. The games are close, but they find a way to win 17 in a row when they're decided by 1 score or less. So it's remarkable what they're doing. This represents excellence. They ought to be commended for what they've done and how they continue to rebuild through the draft. They are able to find at least the right player to plug and play, whether it's DeAndre Hopkins, whether it's Juju Smith-Schuster, and just add them in there, and they seem to fit in. And the humility, because these guys are stars elsewhere, and here they come in, and they might have 9 catches on the year, but no complaining, right? I guess when you play with Pat Mahomes and play for Andy Reid, you can't complain. You really can't.
Is that a culture thing, Solomon? When you talk about guys that you're talking about going in there, it's just the culture of that football team?
Absolutely. I think you just defined it. It's a mindset, right? That we're here to win. That we're not here for your numbers or for your numbers. And I heard one coach says every day I walk into the office, I walk by Vince Lombardi trophies that sit in a trophy cabinet. I don't walk past rushing titles. I don't walk past MVPs. I don't walk past the leading receivers title. So, it's about the team. It's about the collective. Andy Reid is really good at that, and he doesn't have a problem to get his players to buy in at all.
Definitely not. Solomon Wilcots joining us here on the Blitz. We're a Cowboys station.
Yeah.
We talk a lot of Cowboys. What were your thoughts on the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer as the new head coach?
First of all, I was like, that's interesting. But I wanted to kind of hear and see. You kind of just like there's a vision here I didn't think about, because I'm a great admirer of his dad, of Marty Schottenheimer. And Brian's been a good coach, in this league. He really has. But then when Jerry makes the announcement, calling him a risk, right? Said that he has baggage. And I'm like, wait a minute now. So now I'm starting to really worry. I'm like, well, what does he know about Brian that I don't know? Maybe did he have to get Brian out of a, kind of out of a garbage can and clean him up or something? What is he talking about? What does he mean? He's got baggage. What has he done that we don't know? I don't want to overthink it, right? But imagine you were just hired on a job and they're bringing you in. They're making a big to-do of it, enough to call a press conference, and then you're being introduced to your co-workers and the people you're going to be managing as someone with baggage.
Thanks for the pep talk,
as someone who's a huge risk. How you think your leadership's going to get challenged maybe every now and then?
Yes.
Probably so.
Absolutely. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys and America's team for so long, and they were so great in the mid-'90s, but have been in a real bad drought. When you look at that team, I mean, to us, it's sad because we hear from Cowboy fans all the time, just get frustrated. As a former player, when you look at a team like that, and there are several in the NFL that are iconic football franchises, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they missed it. I think there were times when they wasn't too long ago, they had one of the best offensive lines in football. They had Ezekiel Elliott and they had Dak Prescott. They didn't, and they had Des Bryant. I thought was a really good receiver. They had Jason Witten.
Des caught it.
Yeah.
They would have won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, he did catch it. No, he did catch it. And Jason Witten was one of the great tight ends. I remember watching Jason Witten when he was at Tennessee. I said, ooh, this dude can. I mean, I just thought he would be a great player. He turned out to prove me right. He was a great player. My point is they've had this run since the 90s where they've had really good players. They've had great offensive lines. They had the great running back. They had the great receivers. They had the great quarterback. What's the problem? Why can't – there's this thing. Jerry is a great owner, great marketeer, makes great money. Like all great owners, he needs to get out of the way. Let the people do it. This was the problem he had with Jimmy Johnson. he tells Jimmy, he wants some of the attention. He wants some of the love. He wants to feel as good as the players. This is a guy that played on a championship team in college, and he probably wouldn't know it, but he did, right? Played at the University of Arkansas, was a good player on a championship team. He knows this game. He knows that's not healthy. Is that Fred Gaudelli in the house? So that's my guy right there, man. So anyway, he knows this. You can't have a press conference, running parallel to the coach's press conference. That there has to be one voice. There has to be one leader. He seems to have fought that, and I think that has added to this drought. I think it really has, and I think he's becoming more desperate to win. The losses hurt more as he ages. I think that loss against Green Bay really hurt him.
Yeah.
It left him paralyzed because he did nothing in free agency. He did nothing. He just sat still. He did nothing. And that, you let all the other teams go out and buy and spend and get players, and you did nothing. When you do nothing in this league, you fall behind.
Mm-hmm.
So doing nothing means you are losing ground. And it hurt Mike McCarthy, right? And it hurt him to have him going into a lame duck year, but you didn't give him more talent. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The writing was on the wall on that one. If you guys didn't know what was going to happen on that one, I could have told you what was going to happen.
Exactly.
Offensive line got worse. Defense got worse. And in a lot of different areas, they got worse. And you didn't have CeeDee Lamb in camp. So how was he going to have a better year this year than he had last year? It wasn't going to happen. And then once that got hurt, it was, I don't know how Mike is going to survive this one. It's impossible.
Yeah. All right. Now you say impossible, and you mentioned Dak being hurt. He's a visit with Solomon Wilcots here on at 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You're a professional broadcaster. You put that one on a tee for me, so we'll knock it out of the park because you're here with Macy, which is like knee cartilage replacement. I've got a knee question, but let's start with hamstring. That Dak Prescott hamstring, Dr. Nelson Mead, gets ripped completely off the bone, surgically repaired. Medically, will he return to being Dak Prescott like we know him, or is that the kind of injury that you've got a donut tire the rest of your life?
No, I don't think you necessarily view the hamstring like you do an Achilles or patella tendon. I think the hamstring, especially if it's torn right off the bone, could revascularize pretty well. And I think that, I had a very good mentor who once told me that these guys they're just different, right? And so what may be a little bit tougher for us to recover from, I think that should not be the issue that's going to hold him back. I think what's harder is these guys that have subacute chronic hamstrings that, because it wasn't torn completely off, they never had it fixed. So I think he's got a better chance in my mind, but so I think he should be good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
right?
Better. I like what you're saying. This guy thinks he'll never.
Well, I just say this is the second major leg injury for this guy, and you can see. I mean, it affected his mobility already, and I'm just thinking with this one as well, he may just be a statue back there.
So that's the bigger picture, right? It's not, if you look at this injury in a vacuum, but you're right. In a bigger picture, you look same on the affected side, it's might be a struggle.
Yeah, all right. And then you've got Diggs, who's had knee surgery after knee surgery. Can your products, Macy, can you help Trayvon?
Yeah. I haven't seen his MRIs or anything.
It's bad.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's not good.
Most of these guys, a lot of them are rough.
That's crazy. Tell me about Macy.
Yeah, so basically what it is, it's a procedure, a two-step procedure to restore cartilage in the knee. So typically a lot of times, especially in these athletes where they have big injuries, they'll take a hit to the cartilage, that smooth lining that's in the joint. And the problem is it doesn't have very good blood supply. The only cartilage we have is a cartilage we're born with. And so typically when you get these pothole type defects in that cartilage, the only thing that can subsequently happen is over time those degrade and get bigger and bigger. And so what the Macy procedure has allowed us to do is to go in, identify those, biopsy cartilage, regrow it in the lab, and then come back and replant it. And they've gotten great results over the years with it. It's starting to prove to be very reliable, very effective. And so then you wonder, well, what's the next step to improve outcomes? And right now, the way that it was done was through a larger open incision, about 8-9 inches in length. And now we can do it through the buttonhole. So Macy Arthro allows us to basically do the cartilage restoration but through the size of a button. And so the idea being is that it would help, with the post-operative recovery, allow you to address other issues in the knee a little bit more easily than we previously could with a big open incision. So, I've done several. It just got approved in August by the FDA, but so far it's started out great.
That's awesome. Solomon, I've got to ask you one question. I know we're up against it.
Yeah.
I saw this in print, and I had to ask you when I knew you were coming on. Travis Hunter should play both ways in the NFL. That's unheard of. How could he do that?
It is. It's rarely heard of, right? I mean, you have to go back. I don't know if you remember Roy Green, who played with the St. Louis Cardinals. This guy was great wide receiver and defensive back. People don't even know that the late, great Don Hudson led the league in interceptions. He was a heck of a receiver for the Green Bay Packers. And you're right. We are living in a more specialized period in terms of division of labor. Give a guy one job, let him do that one job at a very high level. I totally get it. But I think you've got to allow a kid to have some fun. If he's young. So if he's showing you that he can do it, I would watch his rep count. I would watch the load management part of it, because the games are longer in the NFL. The season is a lot longer in the NFL. But I think initially, because that to me is part of your evaluation as a coach, you should let him play both, so you can know what he does best. How are you going to do that? Just by looking at the tape. If he's going out there and torching your DBs, and then he's going over there and locking down your receivers, then you might want to leave him alone.
It's a good point.
And let him have some fun, and then take it from there. That's all we're saying.
Now, is that NFL analyst Solomon Wilcots talking, or Colorado alum Solomon Wilcots talking?
I think you can accomplish two things at once.
So, offense and defense. I got you.
He's
Travis
a special
Hunter.
young man,
Yes.
no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
He
really
guys,
is.
Appreciate you jumping on Dr. Nelson Mead. Solomon Wilcots, appreciate it, man.
All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you
guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. As we continue here on Radio Row here in New Orleans. Good seeing you, man. We'll
Good
see you
seeing
next
you.
year.
Great.
Get some
Doc,
links over
nice
there.
meeting you.
Yeah, they're on us.
Yeah.
Just tell them to put it on
Put
the
it on
Blitz tab.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's what we'll do. So when you look at it, you it is interesting, because he is right, but he also went to Colorado.
He did.
And it will be interesting, although that's one way to look at it. Early in his career, Travis Hunter, why not? Training camp, OTAs, that's probably going to determine it. Maybe experiment with it in a preseason game, but I don't know. I mean, what is he better at? And there might be a team. A luxury. If you have an injury, you've got some depth there, and maybe you play him some in every game on both sides just to make sure he's available and ready to go.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does, because, it is unheard of. But I think what Solomon said is absolutely right. What does he do better, and what will he do better in the NFL? Is he going to be a better defensive back or a better wide receiver? And I don't know if you're going to know that until you let him go play and figure it all out. So that was an interesting answer, and appreciated him answering it.
Absolutely, and that's what we do. What is going on?
Hello.
There's all kinds of people
all
walking
right.
around.
Yeah.
Although I was about to throw the headsets on RJ Ochoa. I don't know where he's going. What? We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a guy over there reaching into a suitcase.
Why don't you sit over here, RJ?
Yeah, so you can be on the video, because you know how this stuff works.
Well, I'm not sure he does.
Well, RJ Ochoa does not know how any video stuff works as we get our Synergenx helmet.
That's it.
Gets
Okay,
delivered.
nice.
Somebody got here.
Right there. I mean, look, it's 3:48 on Tuesday. Flip it around the other way.
There
Synergenx
you
and
go.
Low T
Yes.
Center. That looks fantastic. It's
Yeah.
a damn good looking helmet.
This gentleman got here, and I was worried y'all had a guest, and I was trying to be polite. So,
Yeah,
sorry.
we appreciate that.
You were so nice.
Where'd you get the pretzel?
Where did we get? I have no idea where
you
it
want
came
some?
from.
I do.
Go ahead.
It came from the pretzel place. Apparently, we've done Radio Rows in all kinds of places.
Sure.
And there are some that didn't even have water available.
Right.
And so far here in New Orleans, there is so much food in this convention center. We're going to gain 7-8 pounds just because there was some was it catfish and some brats? Although the brats, they're from Green Bay as they're getting ready for the draft.
Yeah, it's sauerkraut.
So we threw those away.
Not good.
And then there's pretzels.
I haven't eaten today, so that sounds.
Oh wow, that's
There's a cold.
I'm going to eat it in a moment.
It's all yours.
Trust you.
Although Erica went and found them, and she came back with food.
That's all that mattered.
I mean, it sounds like she's been of incredible help so far.
I mean,
she always is.
She has earned her keep. You went and found pretzels. I mean, you can't talk without headphones. You understand how radio works. You work in radio now. That you found pretzels. RJ Ochoa is hungry.
Wow, y'all have some new equipment. Look at that.
How about that?
Hey, look at y'all. Wow.
So RJ, what's going on? What brings you to New Orleans?
I have given the same spiel like 9 times, so the 10th time is truly the charm. This is, I think, my 7th Super Bowl, 6th or 7th, and most of them I've been to. Jason Minnick has been a part of. You have been a part of one.
Yes.
So not quite the fortunate soul. SB Nation has me out here doing social. So basically, the instruction I was given was go live your life and just document it all on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Did they know you when they decided to send somebody to New Orleans to go live their life? I mean, you're going to leave here and go read a book. I mean, I think they want drunkenness on Bourbon Street.
I do have Dune downloaded on my iPad, just so we're all aware. But we have a lot of festivities planned. And so it was weird. I'm a radio guy on some level. And on some level, I'll always be. And I'm incredibly grateful to Jason Minnick and Joe Reinagle and Ari Temkin and David Chancellor and Rob Thompson for that. But today, I went to the team availabilities at the team hotels.
I
had never done that before.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. I feel very awkward. Like I don't have to be at Radio Row from X to Y every day. So I'm a free bird. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Did you take the bus with the police escort?
I did.
As we were driving in, we saw that, and I was like,
I'll let you in on a secret. They have food there too.
Yeah,
the food is at all the places.
It's New Orleans,
and the Wi-Fi is everywhere. You get on the Super Bowl Wi-Fi; it's everywhere you go. It's pretty well done. I'll say.
You know, the technology the NFL has is fantastic.
Wi-Fi,
except when they're on the football field.
That's true. Although they're thinking about putting those chips in the balls. They have them in all of our heads, but they're going to put them in the balls.
I mean, even checking in with the facial recognition software was one of the coolest things.
Great.
They were like, "Hey, Joe, we've got some B negative if you need something."
Exactly.
So that was crazy.
All right, so people that are following you at RJ Ochoa and through SB Nation, all these social media. So with that in mind, as SB Nation has given you the marching orders, go live your life. People are going to live vicariously through you.
Yeah.
That means hurricanes on Bourbon Street.
I actually think it means being my normal, some would say eclectic, quirky, some would say cute personality.
I don't know about any of that.
Can I ask you two the question that I asked everybody at Media Night last night?
Sure.
What color? What's your favorite color?
No, it's very difficult to set up, so I apologize in advance.
Here we go.
So I work for SB Nation. That's how the spiel starts.
Okay.
I got a lot of spiels. And that's 2 words or 2 letters. SB. What's your favorite 2-word sequence? First word starts with S. Second starts with B. Like Super Bowl, but you can't say Super Bowl.
You can't say Super Bowl.
Correct. I got a lot of sun baths. Salt bed was a popular one.
How about Subway?
That's 1 word. And what is the B? Isn't even starting it.
Well, okay. I'm throwing it out there.
Way. I don't know what I'm thinking I can say on the radio.
That's up to you.
All right. I don't know that I could say it on the radio.
Okay. Well.
So I have no idea.
Can I say SpongeBob or Soup Bowl?
We got SpongeBob and Soup Bowl.
But
as an
SpongeBob
answer.
is 1 word.
I kind of allow it.
You make up your own rules, so you won't go Subway, but you will go
SpongeBob is understandable. Subway is very not a real thing.
He's from Alice, Texas.
So I asked for 3 offerings from each player that I spoke to. None of the Eagles said Saquon Barkley.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you would think.
I didn't think of that either, though. To their defense, but they're the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's what I'm saying. You're not on the team. Like, there's no reason for your mind to be there.
Yeah.
Did any of the Chiefs say Saquon
Bagel? Yeah.
You could go salty bagel, small bagel.
I'm saying that we've been super busy today.
That's a good one.
How about that?
The most football-y answer I got, George Karlaftis said, sack Brady, which was a little, it worked, but it's a little bit of a stretch.
I think that's pretty good.
I think salt bed's a good one. Like that's, not everything has a salt bed, but the things that do need it.
You teed up the Eagles perfectly, and they dropped the ball. They fumbled. That just tells me they're going to lose this game on Sunday.
As a Cowboys fan,
I hope so.
Well, I see. Like that's what I was going to get to. Maybe you guys can tackle this throughout the week. I really don't care if they win. I'm that down bad. Like they could win, and I could be like, whatever. I mean, it's fine. Cool.
I want to see history made.
That's great. I'm happy for you. I'm rooting for that.
Yeah,
I'm definitely pulling. But when the Eagles won their first one, it was like the worst day ever. And 2 years ago, I was really, really, really rooting against them, and it worked out. But if they were to win, and I'm even working the game, and I had to go to the winning Philadelphia Eagles locker room,
nothing worse than being in the building watching two teams that you hate in Pittsburgh and Green Bay playing at Jerry Stadium.
Some building.
Wow. Interesting. So what's on the agenda for the rest of the day?
Well, I'm going to go have a conversation in about an hour with my friends from Mundo NFL, and it's going to be in Spanish, so let's go.
Good luck.
And Spanish Bowl, maybe. And then there you go. And then tonight I'll probably hang out with you jackals at the media party.
Yeah,
probably not.
And
we're going to be drinking.
Well, I mean, we all have to eat food.
Yeah, the food there is wonderful.
I mean, we'll see. And tomorrow, more of the same. I know you guys are going to be reading books yourselves. Some books.
Probably not. Not tonight. We've got the media party, and then it's work. I mean,
yeah. Although it's the only party you'll go to, I imagine.
Tonight?
Well, yes.
Yes. It's the only one we're going to. We haven't even checked into our Airbnb.
I could see
yet.
that.
All our luggage is here.
You could also find some bar as well.
You could, and there's several bars here to find.
Look at you, Joe Reinagel.
See that?
How is your Airbnb?
I don't know what to say.
Well,
shout out to Pete Sweeney, who I'm here with,
who was making your bed. I didn't understand some of your social. That was weird, but the welcome letter to Airbnb that we haven't checked into yet. There's all kinds of stuff in this long letter about cleaning supplies, extra paper towels. Don't put anything in the toilet that doesn't belong. You're not allowed to have a party. $1,000 fine per person. Blah, 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 blah. Don't move the furniture. Don't block the driveway. Have a wonderful stay. And if you miss the toilet, wipe it up. I have never in my life seen anything like that.
Well, they know you.
Well, I'm thinking all the drunken people that are in New Orleans stumbling back and missing the toilet.
Honestly, what bothers me the most about that whole kind of listing is that the part about missing the toilet isn't next to the part about not putting anything else in the toilet. You know what I mean? Like you should have said those things next to one another.
No, I think they're just circling back.
Oh, I hope that's not how you're using the toilet.
I mean, the welcome letter, I had to screenshot 2 different ways to get the whole thing in there to send it in the group chat because it was that funny.
Wow. Well, have you seen the place?
No. We have. I mean, the pictures online look wonderful.
So if you need to change, you're good.
Oh, yeah. We were going to change every segment since we brought all of our clothes here.
Wow. Were you guys like home alone running through the airport like to get here on time?
No.
Well, not really, but, we landed, about 10 o'clock and had to, get the luggage, Uber over here.
I told Erica I was surprised that you didn't send her to check in with everything.
And my response was, I'm literally just a girl.
Oh, stop.
I mean, I half expected to walk. It took me like 30 minutes to get here, by the way.
It's not a horrible idea, actually. But I mean,
actually, you're right. But we can't even check in for 2 minutes.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fair.
I mean, Nick Saban sent the letter.
Nick Saban is
4.
Close to SB. The B is right there. So.
Yes.
Wow.
Stellar.
Well, how was Solomon Wilcots? We were here.
Stellar. We got to go. We got to take a break.
Okay, some break.
Yes, this one.
Super break.
Yes, because somebody's got to pee.
I'm going to go get a pretzel.
Go have fun. Well, there's a pretzel right there.
I'm going to eat it.
Eat it.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
Yep. RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com. Social media.
Maven.
All right.
Des caught it.
Des did catch it. I'm sure we'll catch up with you throughout the week here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Stars, our AA Best Bail Bonds at Radio Row Coverage continues from New Orleans, and, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, including RJ Ochoa down here in New Orleans, but does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons, especially, during a week like this down here in New Orleans. Now, you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Folks, there's nothing romantic about home repairs, but when your plumbing has lost that love and feeling and your AC is about to achy break your heart, call Quarterman Plumbing, Heat, and AC at 210-651-5899. We'll fix the issue fast at a great price with a servant spirit.
Joel, this is a special Valentine gift from me to you.
Yeah, but why are your arms red?
I got a deal on this plant for your office.
That's poison ivy, Nigel.
It's what?
Border Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
At Roundtable Pizza, our signature ingredients like made-from-scratch dough, our 3-cheese blend, and toppings all the way to the edge create your perfect pizza. Try our new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza, available for a limited time. You can enjoy a large for only $19.99 at participating locations. Plus, pair your pizza with our irresistible shareables. To find your nearest location or to order for pickup or delivery, head to roundtablepizza.com. That's roundtablepizza.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Does it feel like you're lacking energy, always moody, or your libido isn't what it used to be? It could be caused by low testosterone. Go get tested. I recommend the providers at Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss. Their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. They also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. And for current patients, Synergenx offers a $150 referral credit. Get started. Book your appointment at synergenxhealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40?
Hims can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Off to a potty break and has not made it back yet. I don't have any idea where that Sports Center script went, but I do know the Spurs lost in the first game of the rodeo road trip last night, but Steph Castle did get named Rookie of the Month. Ryan Eagle and his small bladder coming back here on Radio Row.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star, Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. In New Orleans, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage. So we get ready for Super Bowl 59. Comment on YouTube, and you can always comment on our YouTube channel. Go there, subscribe, San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button while you're there. Joe, did you bring your pee bottle?
Yeah, I saw that. No. I just went up to. I didn't realize the media room was as far as it was, but took a minute to get there. But I needed some water. I got to die of thirst over here. So
I thought you went to go potty.
No.
So you were gone that long,
dude,
and didn't pee?
No, I didn't.
Your leg's been shaking for 30 minutes.
No, I'm good, actually. I haven't had enough of this yet.
I was ready for, like, if we were on a road trip, like, look, next exit, man. Next exit. We really got to stop. Next exit.
No, it's all good, because if I would have gone that way, because
Yeah.
I understand that the quickest one's over there. So I had to decide where's the quickest way to get water.
Well, that's the one thing about being in any convention center, and anybody that has spent any time in a convention center knows that. There are lots of bathrooms, but it's always a hike. But here where we are, if we look right across the way, and there's some video that you could see on our Instagram at SA Sports Star. So, like, we are looking directly at the pro football talk, the PFT Pro Football Talk, like where Florio and Sims and, they do that. Like, but right behind that, on the other side of their set, there is a bathroom. So it's really not that far.
No. And so if I had to pee, I'd have gone that way.
Well, I didn't see where you left.
Well, I went that way because
but
the media room is upstairs, but I had no idea that the escalator is like, I mean, it's up there. It's a hike. It's like way the hell up there.
Was there any food up there?
I didn't look for that. I got water as quick as I could and came back. So there you go.
So you just didn't notice any food?
I didn't notice. I was in a hurry.
I'm guessing if there was food, you would have seen it.
What? So
there must not have been any food out.
I don't know. It's a big media workroom.
Okay.
It's huge.
Big.
But they've got a big refrigerator full of this nice, delicious water.
Now, you brought back 4 waters and put them all on your side
well,
of the table.
No, everybody can have them.
Okay.
I sat down in a hurry.
They're shareable.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you missed Sports Center.
Sure. Well, oh, boy, that's a crime. I hear you blew it.
I didn't. I didn't. I gave an update on your bladder, which apparently was wrong. And we talked about the Spurs losing last night in the first game of the rodeo road trip. And the Spurs did not look good last night.
No, they got their butts kicked in Memphis. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. The only hope there is that help is on the way, hopefully.
The expectation is De'Aaron Fox will be with the Spurs tomorrow. That's the expectation. I saw, and kind of cool seeing the Spurs actually doing the social media thing, but the private jet lands.
Yeah.
Is that a new private jet for the Spurs?
I have no idea.
Kind of black and white. I mean, it looked good,
Well,
but
maybe it is.
No Spurs logo.
Yeah.
Or do they just rent one in the right color scheme? I don't know, but he arrives on the private jet. There's video of him. They greet him there on the tarmac, goes and does some paperwork, takes a physical, and probably gets on that same private jet and heads to Atlanta to meet up with his teammates.
Well, I hope so. He needs to. I mean, he got a night off, and he should be rested, ready to go, and there's no excuses. Get out there. I expect 30-plus minutes.
30 minutes?
30-plus minutes. Yes.
Well, what about points? 30-plus?
His average would be just fine. He scores about 25. I'd be happy with that. I just want to see him get in the mix and start working with Wemby, getting some other players involved. And I'm excited about this guy coming in. I really am. I think he's excited. And I think the players are excited. And I just think they need a spark. I mean, obviously they need a spark. This team is lacking a spark over their last 20 games or so. To play as well as they did in Paris that first game, which I kind of thought they would just because it was so, the atmosphere was as it was. And then to play so poorly in the second game of that is just unbelievable.
Well, it might be a poll question for tomorrow. Once we find out if he is in the lineup, the over-under on pick and rolls with him and Wemby in his first game.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I like that a lot.
I pre-planning for a little bit of tomorrow's show.
Well, we need to do that.
We'll have
that's a good thing.
A poll question on our YouTube channel. Now, I will tell you, tomorrow, you definitely want to be watching our YouTube channel.
Yes, absolutely.
San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Now, we've got a lot of great guests scheduled for tomorrow. So you want to be on YouTube this whole week especially. But you think about tomorrow 2:30, Ron Rivera is going to be on with us.
Yeah, he's disappointed he didn't get the Cowboys job.
We'll find out. Amon Green, former Green Bay running back, he's going to be on.
That'll be good.
Trey Wingo.
Kyle
Rudolph is coming on the show.
Nice.
But at 3:00, gentlemen,
ladies, maybe.
Paige Sporaniak is going to be on the show.
And if you don't know who that is, where have you been?
Get out from the rock.
Exactly right. Any kind of social media, you've seen this woman. She is a professional golfer, or certainly was. I think she can still play. But she made a pretty good haul showing off the assets.
Yes.
That she has been gifted with.
I'm just saying, we are first and foremost a radio show. We have the visual element with the YouTube channel. Tomorrow with Paige Sporaniak on the show, you definitely want to be watching on YouTube.
Absolutely. Well, you should be watching on YouTube anyway.
You can.
Just get over there and watch.
And you can comment there, but tomorrow, 3:00. If you're watching now where you're near your laptop, just go into your calendar and put the reminder in there.
Yeah, it will come up.
It will.
And yes, you can be watching that. And it's real. It will be real life social media right here. You won't have to. Just right there.
Yes,
sure. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I was trying to think of a creative way to talk about Paige Sporaniak being on the show tomorrow with one of our new sponsors here on the Blitz, Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa, because Dr. Hires does it all when it comes to this. For guys, if it says right here, thinking about implants for your wife, and we get these, and it's like, how do I say that? Hey, honey. But I'm sure that those conversations happen. But it's not just that. If she does awake lipo, tummy tucks, muscle toning, the M Sculpt, and right now they've got a 15% off M Sculpting, which is incredible because you get on that machine and it's like doing 20,000 sit-ups and you don't do one.
Exactly. I'm telling you, it feels really good. You and I have been going through this. I think we both had three treatments thus far, and it's really incredible the difference it makes in you. And guys, I'm going to tell you what, if you're having a hard time getting rid of that beer gut, this M-Sculpt is for you. I mean, it really is. 15% off right now, but they've got a lot of specials. It's Valentine's month, right? Do something nice for your lady. Do something nice for yourself, because that would be nice for your lady as well. And you can get it done with Dr. Hires.
Absolutely. Confidence starts with feeling great in your skin. So call 210-494-8446. 494-8446. Mention the Blitz. You're going to get a discount. You can also check out the website, findyourbeautiful.com. Findyourbeautiful.com.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Wow! Most cars and pickup trucks can have a ceramic film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint starting at just $199. That's an incredible price. If you shop around, you'll find that competitors charge hundreds of dollars more. Plus, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Mother's Window Tint offers up to 60 different film options to fit all price ranges. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has been known as the home of the tint and alarm special. If you're looking to enhance your vehicle security to the highest level, visit Mother's Window Tint today, where security systems start at just $3.99. Call us at 210-496-3454. That's 210-496-3454. Or visit us online at motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mothers and save!
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Matayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. Because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business. Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it. And will beat any print quote. Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs. No problem. I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens. Totally. I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing. I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for my good friends over at Prize Picks. It is now or never. The big game is almost here. Don't miss out on the last big one of the season. And Prize Picks is the absolute best place to win cash while watching the big game. And I'm talking about serious cash, 1,000 times your money. And it is so easy to do. And on top of that, we've got money for you. Just check out the promos tab to tail any of our super sweet Millie winners. Big game lineups, you can get them. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win up to $1 million. That's part of the promo finds. That's why you go to Prize Picks. I'll tell you what, if you want some cash, use the code Alamo. You get $50 instantly after you play your first game. That's a $5 lineup with 2 times the money. Let's go play Prize Picks. You've been putting it off all year long, or you've been playing along with the other 10 million. Prize Picks is the place to be. Go run your game.
Rise it on!
is the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Big Game Giveaway.
You asked for it, you got it.
Predict the exact score of the big game in New Orleans, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com.
I like this kind of party.
The $50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Distractor. Score big with Distractor and Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. In New Orleans, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage rolls on. And while it is football, it's not all football because, man, there's so much going on in the NBA world. And look, the excitement level that we have in San Antonio for the trade they made, getting De'Aaron Fox, it's the complete opposite up in Dallas,
man,
with Mavericks fans. And I know there's some Mavs fans that listen to this program a lot, like Clay Moore, who is all over the YouTube channel. I'm not sure what stage of grief Mavs fans are in, but this trade, the reaction isn't getting better with time. It seems to be getting uglier. In fact, Mavs fans, season ticket holders, demanding refunds.
Yeah, a lot of them are. And look, they're going to see a lot of that. And quite frankly, I don't blame them. I mean, you make a move like that just completely changes the franchise. The only thing that's going to save them if Anthony Davis comes in and he and Kyrie Irving and they can make a run and do something. But can you imagine if AD comes in there and gets hurt and he's out for the rest of the season or he misses significant time? I mean, it's only going to make this thing worse. So I don't think it's going to this isn't going away anytime soon. And it's going to be interesting to see how many season ticket holders, gave the Mavericks the bird and said, the heck with you, I'm out.
WFAA is reporting through email communication of a season ticket holder who asked for a ticket cancellation and will be getting a refund according to the email. But so many that the Mavericks actually had to issue a statement. Quote, "We value every season ticket member relationship and reps are available to take calls from members with any concerns or questions."
Can you imagine those poor salespeople? Because they're going to get the brunt of it all. And then they had nothing to do with it. Those poor salespeople who sell season tickets, and it's hurting them.
Well, I'm curious. Did they already get paid their commission,
yeah,
or are they going to get charged back from the Mavericks if they actually do? But it's even crazier, and I can imagine. I don't know what their cancel policy is. Renewals, that might be another statement. Renewals might be something completely different. But there's also a brewery up in Dallas that quickly created a new beer. It's called Sell the Team. And on the can, it has a bunch of deflated basketballs.
That's deflated balls. I think that's probably appropriate
Dallas,
when it comes to this.
This beer pairs well with our despair and confusion, says the brewery, which is dropping the new double hazy IPA called Sell the Team.
Well, I mean, look, if fans thought you were doing something to make the team better, but to trade a guy that is honestly, it's on the same level, Jason. If Brian Wright woke up tomorrow and said he's sending Victor Wembanyama to wherever for another star, I mean, fans would go nuts here. It's along the same lines because Luka Doncic is that generational talent. He is. He's that good. And so when you think that this kid's going to be around forever with your franchise, and what he's already done for that franchise is what makes it. Well, I mean, he literally almost by himself drugged that team into the finals last year. And it's unbelievable. And I still can't get my head wrapped around what happened in Dallas with this. It's crazy.
Now, I saw another report that says Dallas is offering refunds for those that want to cancel for their remaining games, about $2,000. I don't know ultimately how they're all doing it. it's actually pretty good PR for the Mavericks to do that, because they've obviously taken a major hit. They've got 2 black eyes with this trade. So for unhappy fans, and I wonder if the thought process, hey, man, we get it. We know, there's only so many home games left. Because I don't know how they come up with the average of 2,000, but if that's what it is, if you're getting 2,000 back. But I also wonder if they're thinking, we'll just sell those tickets to other people that want to be here, because people will still go and support their team. It's almost like, in the, recent past when, Pop was getting very political and a lot of people wanted to cancel. All right, they canceled and those tickets got resold almost immediately. Although 2 very different scenarios, because, you trade away a Luka and you've got the entire fan base unhappy, not just half with whichever political wind you follow.
Yeah, this is, and again, there's no one that can wrap their head around this. Anthony Edwards the other day, he was almost devastated by this, thinking they traded a 25-year-old guy in the obviously not even in the prime of his career yet. I mean, he's still getting there. And you trade this guy because you think he's too fat. I mean, my goodness, you've got to have some restraint there, and get the guy a full-time trainer, get him a nutritionist, get him whatever you think you need, but you don't trade him away for a guy that is 6-7 years older than him, who has a history of injury problems. Good player, but he's got a history of injury problems. It makes absolutely no sense to me at all.
Still doesn't make sense. Maverick fans, I feel bad for you. I really do.
I don't feel bad for him.
I do.
Yeah, you jump on this bandwagon over here. Spurs, come on. Yeah, because look, Spurs fans haven't exactly been feeling great.
No, but
over the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, it's I do feel that. I mean, that's your team. If that's your team and you've been a lifelong fan of that team, I know you can't switch. I get it. And maybe this does make you want to switch. But, man, you see your front office do something like that, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's a kick in the package.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly. Let's talk some football coming up. One of the best to cover the game, Lindsay Rhodes, is going to join us next down here in New Orleans as we get ready for the game coming up Sunday. And those of you back in San Antonio, Underdog is available in the great state of Texas, and the best app for your big game party is on your phone. It's called Underdog, the best place to cash in on all your takes during the big game. Who's going to have a great game? Who's not? Play the pick'em game. You go higher or lower on the predicted stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower. I love playing the pick'em game. You can create your own entries, your own different experiences. And what I love about Underdog, it's the only pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. And they have Underdog Rescue, so a second chance, if you will. You get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose. They even have a double flex option. You can take 2 L's and still turn that into a W. Underdog is the best place to play pick'em. Download the Underdog app. Use my promo code STAR when you sign up. Deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's when you use promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, use promo code STAR when you get signed up at Underdog.
The Morning Huddle.
I was looking at houses yesterday, and this house had in one of the bedrooms like a big hook where you could tell like
that they had a swing in
I
there.
know what you're doing with that.
Chair actually going on
I
in there. I may not have those in my room right now.
Oh,
so you're
hanging like Big's hanging from it,
like a
except he's hanging from his penis,
performer.
just hanging so it'll stretch. Like he's like spinning around like he looks like.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Hey, it's James Pledger. If you play Pick 6 from DraftKings, well, you better get on it. It's Super Bowl 59, the last time to play NFL Pick 6 this season. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like nobody else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Just select 2 or more players, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like touchdowns, yardage, sacks, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5 to get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm. How can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry. You called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Confidence starts with feeling great in your own skin. When you look good, you feel good. Get stronger to your core with Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa. From muscle toning to micro needling, call 210-494-8446 or findyourbeautiful.com. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm at Jason Minix, live on Radio Row, or AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row. Coverage continues with Lindsay Rhodes joining us now. I want to introduce you as one of the smartest people to cover the game.
Wow.
Is that fair?
Oh, man.
Wow. Is that fair?
Now I feel a lot of pressure.
Well, there is pressure.
That's actually a good strategy, right? Like everyone who sits down deeply flatter them and make them bring their A game.
Yes.
A friend of ours, RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com.
Huge fan, yes.
He's like, oh, you have Lindsay Rhodes. I'm so jealous. I'm surprised he's not here
That's
fangirling.
very kind. I would fangirl right back.
We're talking about RJ. How was Radio Row for you and everything that you do now?
It's so fun. I actually love, like, you know, it's the number of words per minute that I have said today. It is wild. I'm like, slow down, Lindsay. I get going, and it's like you're gonna get a good dose of that, like me nerding out. But it's so fun to talk to all of the different people from all over the country, honestly, in such a compact time frame, because you get a chance to really get a feel for like where people's heads are. You know, we kind of operate in our own little spaces, and so you don't really know how people in other areas are seeing some of the like broader stories of the game, and I just think it's fascinating.
Well, Lindsay, you got to take it easy on us because we're the Dallas Cowboys station. And so it's been a long drought for us, and so take it easy. What are your thoughts on what's going on there?
I think you guys kind of know. This is like a tread lightly situation.
Not really.
I feel like well, maybe not for you. I feel like I've just been perplexed by so many. It's the decision-making process. It's the like, it feels like we're prioritizing, but I don't know that this is actually true, but it feels like we're prioritizing popularity over being good. You know, like like when the decision about the contracts in the offseason was taken right up until the deadline, and there, you know, those of us on the outside are pulling out our head. We're like, we always knew it was coming here, and people only get more expensive in the NFL. They never get cheaper, especially in the course of an offseason, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you wait until the deadline, and now he has you over a barrel. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to get a discount now? Of course not. Everyone knew that. But then there's the part of, you know, people who are like, well, but he got to be on national television in the conversation every single day while people like me freaked out about the fact that this wasn't happening. And I don't think that that's what he's going for, but it's so hard to understand what he is going for. So I think that is sort of my 50,000 foot view. Like, every question you could ask me about the team, I think falls into that bucket.
You know, it's interesting because we're in it every day, right? And
I'm so sorry.
and you know, like, all right, you know, somebody from, you know, 50,000 feet,
right.
You know, I know you follow every team, so, you know, you obviously not one gets all that extra attention, and you're seeing the same thing. Like.
Yeah.
Everything seems so avoidable.
That's a good word for it. You're right.
And now, all right, so this offseason, will the Cowboys do the right thing with Micah Parsons, or will they do the same thing? And when I say right, if you're going to sign the guy, get it done sooner, because then you can manipulate the cap for other free agents.
Oh, what? There are reasons to do it sooner? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I mean, I know that. You know that. Jerry doesn't seem to know that.
I know, you guys.
I
don't know why I'm being careful.
Right?
Well, like, it just feels like at this point, it almost feels like low hanging fruit.
It is.
You know, like we're all saying the same thing, and it makes me feel a little bit like, I don't know. Like, but at the same time, when you're in a position of power, there also seems to be, like, much like some of the phrases that he keeps bringing up. I think you know where I'm going with this, and it makes you wonder, like, who there is able to pull him aside and lovingly say, that's not it. You know, who is there to check you? And I think everybody who is powerful needs someone who loves them, that will be straight up with them and check them when things are not going well. And it doesn't, I wonder if that's the case in this situation, because there are too many missteps that are hugely unpopular that I would think that he would care about.
Well, you would think so. And look, we disagree a lot on how the Cowboys are done and what they've done and how they've done it. But if I'm Micah Parsons, I'm in no hurry to get signed, because I want to see what happens with some of these other guys.
Of course.
And so it may not all be Jerry when push comes to shove.
I mean, maybe not, but shouldn't it be him pushing and shoving to
Sure.
get the deal done?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so even if they're dragging their heels, at least then you could try very hard to get it done, and maybe even message behind the scenes, send out, so that people like you guys who cover the team, you're hearing through your people that the Cowboys are desperately trying to sign him to a deal. They want to get this done. That's something Cowboys fans need to hear, right? That you're being proactive. And that's also strategic from a negotiating tactic. Now ball's in your court, Micah. Are you dragging your heels?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are fans going to get mad at you? Are you a camp holdout? Now it puts it back on them. So even if that were the case, I would think that they would want to protect the star and, flip the script. Like, just start getting the word out. It makes me think that that's not the case.
Lindsay Rhodes joining us here on the Blitz. I think what we see sometimes with the Cowboys, because Jerry even mentioned it the other day in introducing Brian Schottenheimer, Dak in the back of the room. It takes two, right? Well, if you don't send a low ball offer, it probably gets done sooner rather than later. And that's the other concern. I'm sure he sent an offer. I'm sure he sent one to CD that was insulting to CD Lamb at that point, and probably ended up costing him more money when it was all said and done.
And I wonder too, how does this impact how a team feels about where they are? And I know that is an intangible thing, and they're still going to play their hardest, and they've got a lot on the line. And it's not like you're going to it's not like what we saw from Dak this year on the field was because he was like, I don't care about this team as much anymore. Like, clearly that's not the case. But in terms of locker room chemistry, in terms of, teams gelling into teams, you want that cohesivity. Is that a word?
Sure.
that all came
We'll
out in
take
syllables,
that,
man.
Yes.
But like
it sounds like a Jerryism.
You said, thanks. But you see sort of what we're seeing in Detroit right now.
Uh-huh.
Clearly there are tangibles. There are things that you can point to, numbers and ways that we can evaluate. There are some clear and obvious intangibles there that you can see the ways that it's impacting the team. And you would imagine this is also having an effect. Like when Dan Campbell gives his post-game locker room speeches, there's something about the way that they look at him, the way that they respond to him, how he talks to them. I think he coaches them hard, but he coaches them in a way. And I think that this is sort of when you see him going for it on fourth down quite frequently, I think it also subtly, and you could argue whether or not he does it too much, but I think it sends a message to his guys. He's like, you're going to do it. I believe in you. And then gives them an opportunity to make a play. And I think that players love that. I think that they love, give me the ball, right? And so let me make the play that's a game changer here. And so I think that there is fallout from that's positive for teams. And I feel like all of the stuff that goes on in Dallas has to have an effect in the opposite way.
Well, I'm not as smart as you, but it's culture, right?
Where did this come from?
It's culture. I mean, I think it is, and I think that's a big part of the problem too. And I think Jerry has a lot to do with that. But two teams that do have a pretty good culture will be playing on Sunday right here in New Orleans, in Philadelphia and Kansas City, and well-run organizations. I don't think you can doubt it, even though we don't like the Eagles very much for obvious reasons. But are you on the side of wanting to see history made, or do you want to see Kansas City get knocked off?
I don't care in that way. I don't know how you guys feel. You have an investment because you don't like Philadelphia. They're same division, right? Sometimes when I'm watching games and I don't have a team, and I know that weirds people out, it's a long story. But so what happens to me is I find that, I'll talk about things throughout the week. Sometimes I'm biased because I'm rooting for a take that I had. Like I want to be right. I'm selfish like that.
Sure.
But also sometimes I'll be watching a game and I'll realize I'm rooting for a team about third quarter, halfway through the game, something like that. And I'll go, I didn't even realize I wanted them to win, but here I am cheering for them. And so I'm at that I have no idea who I'm cheering for stage of the week. But I think it's a fascinating game to try and evaluate, because speaking of tangibles and intangibles and things that you can measure versus can't, this is a perfect game that is an example of that, right?
Sure.
On the Philadelphia side, I mean, in all the advanced metrics, it's number one EPA offense, just consistently they are good across the board. And there's lots of evidence about the reasons why. You look at the roster, pull that up. I mean, holy heck, look at all the all pros and pro bowlers. And I mean, both of their tackles might be the best tackles in the entire game, right? So I think the roster is the best roster in the NFL. Lions are in this conversation. I go Eagles. And then you look at the Chiefs and pull up their advanced metrics, and they're not bad at anything, but they're also not elite at anything. And so you're like, we're in the 9 to 15 range in a lot of different categories. So they're good, but like, how did they get here? And so then that leads me to the high value people that are on a team that can have the like positional value or like coach, the ability to turn it just with their own presence. And it feels like they have the best high-end players in the game. And so, I mean, clearly the best quarterback. I mean, and that's nothing about Jalen Hurts. It's like, are we going to be in the Tom Brady GOAT conversation in a few years? Yes, we are. We're going to have that. Let's just, get that off our chest right now. And then you've got Andy Reid, who is insane. Spags, who is insane. Do they have the best defensive player in this game? And Chris Jones? I mean, the Eagles' defense is way better, but do the Chiefs have the best defensive player? Like a game wrecker up front. Trent McDuffie's outstanding. And I just think that there's a lot of high leverage situations that the Chiefs have mastered. Like great on third down. They find themselves in third and short. They stay ahead of the sticks. The game management type of thing. They don't make mistakes in those ways. I feel like my head is telling me Eagles and my gut is telling me Chiefs. And I'm going to stick with the Chiefs because I said all year long, when you talk about these teams that are good, they're great in this way and they're great in this way. And then the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl because,
exactly.
One score games,
the
Chiefs games. They've been there as we visit with Lindsay Rhodes here on the Blitz. I'm trying to figure out what kind of game we're going to get. Yeah. High scoring game, still one possession, or do you think it's going to be a blowout one way or slugfest, low scoring 17-14 kind of deal?
God, I hope it's not 17-14. Nobody wants that, right? That would be just disappointing across the board. Like, what a thud. So maybe it is my optimism and my also fantasy background that is pushing me in this direction. I want lots of scoring. And I also think that to a degree, it is like the Chiefs defense, especially as the season went on, did have some holes in it. Like you can run on them. Their run defense from week 10 to now is much lower down the rankings chart than they would like to be. Also run offense, frankly. But so I don't think having a run defense or a defense that you can run on against Saquon Barkley is necessarily a recipe that you would want, which for betting purposes is why I'm pointing people to Nick Bolton's line of 8.5 tackles. I think that might be an interesting one to go over. It's a high number. But, I mean, I kind of feel like he might play a big role in this game in terms of trying to stop Saquon. This is not at all the question you asked. Now I'm just rambling.
That's okay. You're rambling in areas where people are listening in their car, turning it up, going, all right, 8.5.
They're like pulling up, their apps.
Yes. And for the record, SI Now's Fantasy Dirt Podcast, what you do with Summer Sports with. You're doing a show with Thomas, right? Thomas Dimitroff?
Thomas Dimitroff, who is like, it's so fun for me to nerd out and to ask a general manager. Like I have access, whenever I want. Kind of like you have to talk to me. Which is amazing.
So what other of those individual numbers are you looking at? It's early in the week, but right now the value on that might be pretty good.
For sure. Well, how about the line? The line changed, didn't it? Oh no, wait. What was the line that changed here? Oh, Devontae Smith changed. It came down a yard. So, but I actually think Devontae Smith is interesting. You guys have heard his past against Spags defenses. These lines, 7 catches for 122 yards, 7 catches for 100 yards, 6 catches for 99 yards. He's faced Spags 3 times in his history with the Eagles versus the Chiefs, and those have been his 3 lines. That's
crazy.
So I'm just saying Devontae Smith's is a 49.5. That one, I might smash because I kind of feel like he's, especially with McDuffie in this game, like, does that feel like an AJ situation? Not all the time because they're not going to travel and like follow one guy specifically, I don't think. But so maybe that takes AJ out of a few here and there, and Devontae is then the guy. How about you got to go all the way up to 125 yards to get plus money on Saquon?
That's crazy.
What?
I mean, that's just nuts, right? I mean, even though that's certainly doable for him, but
what?
That's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah.
These lines that have been set for Saquon for the last couple of weeks. I mean, and he's, what he's doing on the ground is just insane.
He's been special. I mean, he's really been special. The guy's great. I've got to ask you, though, there should be a line on why people hate the Kansas City Chiefs so much. I mean, can you put your finger on that? I get it. People are fatigued and they're
That's
this
it.
or that. They think the officials are in the pocket. I mean, we hear it all the time, right? Because I don't get it though. I mean, I think we are seeing a quarterback. You mentioned being in the GOAT conversation, but I think we're seeing a quarterback who, in my mind, is the best player I've ever seen play.
It's wild, right? How good he is.
Yeah.
And even in a year like now, when all of his metrics, like none of them point. So even we have some advanced metrics that use tracking data. It's insane. I'll tell you another time, but I don't want to ramble about that. But it's really, really cool what Sumer has put together. The ability to do like stop him frame by frame and tell you completion probability. And as it changes throughout the play, it's so interesting what it can show you in terms of what's actually happening on the field. But he ranked 27th in our passing all-in-one metric, 27th. But that said, we all know, and this is why I always say this when we're using any kind of numbers are just there to be like, why? And to start a conversation off of that. The numbers are not the story all by themselves. They almost always should just spark a story where you do some digging, maybe pull up some tape. You look for context around this because we know that he is nowhere near the 27th best quarterback in the NFL. And we also know that even this year, even though the numbers kind of point to this, and even if he did have a relatively down year, that's just not the right story. So I forgot what the question was about Fangio. Hate. Yes, not Fangio. I don't know. I saw Fangio's name on my notes and that's what came out of my mouth. Kansas City Chiefs hate.
Yes.
I think that the fatigue is predictable. I think it's always going to happen when there is any kind of dynasty in place. We saw it with the Patriots and how you get so excited. I mean, you see that even just with celebrities who are everywhere. And then you reach a point where you go,
Taylor
I am
Swift.
done seeing you everywhere. Now
Taylor
I
Swift,
hate you.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes. And I mean, I wish more people had the self-awareness to understand they don't actually hate that person. It's actually not really about that person. They just want to see something different for a change.
Sure.
And that's clearly the case with the Chiefs. And I know that the refs conversation is what it is. I think that suggesting that there is some sort of conspiracy to get them in the game is bizarre. Like can you imagine the logistics of pulling that off and how many people would need to know that they all need to be in the bag for the Chiefs but that has never come out.
Yeah.
No one has ever said, hey, I got a note that said like, what? Of course they would in today's day and age. So I think it's just that people get tired of seeing the same thing over and over and want something fresh. And so it's predictable that they've now turned into the bad guys.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I enjoy watching them play. There is greatness that is on that field. And I mean, at the very least, let's all appreciate what Reed and Spags are able to put together.
Absolutely.
Because what they did just against the Bills, pulling out some looks and plays that they had not put on tape all year long in the AFC Championship game, surprising them. I mean, come on, it's masterful.
That's what they do.
Masterful. I like that.
And again, they'll three-peat because I don't know if I can handle
Because
seeing Philly get another one.
It's like
I mean,
asterisk. Because, just because.
Just because.
Because, of course.
All the analytics, it's because you're God.
Yep.
It's because. Now, at Sumer Sports, in your display here on Radio Row, and I keep seeing people go up there and do stuff on this video board.
It's
For people
rad.
that's never been to your website, they're hearing about it for the first time. What is it?
So we are a data and scouting company. And so we have like over 600 years of scouting experience in terms of the collective staff, which was put together by Thomas Dimitroff. And then there's also a whole data arm of it. And so they work in concert to provide information for teams that have contracts with Sumer Sports to help them better come up with some evaluation and strategy for their roster decisions, right? We are moving into the consumer space in the future. And so there will be a little bit of fantasy products coming this summer.
Nice.
And there is even right now some of this advanced data that you hear people talking about, like expected points added has kind of entered the lexicon quite a bit, like average depth of target, ADOT. Their yards per, let me point you in this direction. Look for this stat when it comes time for the draft where wide receivers are concerned. Yards per route run, YPRR. This is all the data scientists who are way smarter than me have gone through the numbers and the people and said that this is actually one of the stickiest, most predictive stats when it comes to predicting whether somebody will be able to make the leap to the next level and have success. When you look at Puka Nacua and you go, okay, how did we miss on this? What did we get wrong? All of the data was there. Yards per route run, first downs per route run, some of these performance metrics that are not just yards or touchdowns or catches. Some of these things told us the story that Puka Nacua is amazing. So this is a long-winded way of saying that you can find some of those stats on sumersports.com and it's not behind a paywall. And these are all stats that a lot of times you have to go to a bunch of different websites to find, and you also have to pay for the ability to do that. We're also working on a product called Sumer Brain, which is like a search engine specifically trained to, we're in the process of training it through trial and error. It's going through beta testing right now, and you can sign up to be a part of that beta test on sumersports.com. It's like high-level football questions, so that you could go on it right now and say, who are the Cowboys' unrestricted free agents? And it'll pop up a list. You can say, how many draft picks did the Cowboys have? And it'll pop up a list. So we're trying to get to a point where every football question, because football is complicated, our language is a very specific one, so that it can answer these questions. What is the trade comp for Myles Garrett? And it'll hopefully tell you Khalil Mack is the closest trade that we can find, and that's 2 firsts and so hopefully it's a one-stop shop moving forward.
Great
for
for
fans.
us sports geeks. And
That is
traffic.
fantastic.
And if our producer is paying attention,
I
for him too.
I'd like to put in what Micah Parsons would be worth on the open market.
That's a good one. We can pull
Right.
that up separately. I don't think that so I can even get back to you on a trade comp for.
I'm just saying,
This guy wants some trade.
that might
Not
be
a-
might be the way to get out of the hole Jerry has dug.
I mean, honestly, Michael Parsons, you're just going, what is the most expensive player making? There you go. Beat
Boom.
that, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have to go top of market. That's always the problem. That was the problem with Dak. And
Yep.
now, not to circle back to the beginning,
Don't get me started on Dak.
it's, I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right, but
Here we go.
As we visit with Lindsay Rhodes, I want to leave with your thoughts on what we heard from Stephen Jones at the press conference the other day.
This drought that people say we're in terms of a championship game or a Super Bowl.
With air quotes.
Air quotes.
That was the whole clip?
Yeah.
With air quotes?
Well, it was yeah.
That people say we're in.
Yes.
That people say we're in. That's
guys.
all I needed. That's all I needed. Your reaction on video. Your reaction was everything.
Air quotes.
With air quotes. With air quotes.
You guys.
With air quotes.
It's not great when people are confused by press conferences, right? I mean, the people in attendance.
Yes.
When they're like, what just happened?
He really said that. He really. We've had
Well,
a lot
you
of
guys
fun
This
have
with
said
drought
it.
that
Oh, yeah.
people say we're in
said
terms of a championship game or a Super Bowl.
Think about Micah Parsons. I'm going to come see you.
Okay.
Can we
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
Seriously?
So, like, how much it might cost?
Yeah.
It literally might be as simple as like more money than the last guy. But yeah, I'll go look that up right now.
All
You're
right,
awesome.
good
I'll get you a
stuff.
number.
Lindsay
You're
Rhodes,
awesome.
Sumersports.com. She does a show there, SI Now, on Twitter at Lindsay_Rhodes. This has been fun.
Thank you so much
We'll
for
do it
having me.
again.
It's fun for me
great.
as well.
Appreciate it. Lindsay Rhodes here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. More coming up from New Orleans on Radio Row here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I want to talk about my good friends at Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. Love those folks, and I love my Connecticut Quality Water Softener. It is the best thing that I've gotten in a long time. I tell you what, it is an absolute game changer for me and my family. It is just, it's amazing. It really is. It is the most popular water softener on the market, and all their products are made right here in America. And the thing I love about it is the fact that you don't plug it in. It does not run on electricity. It's that kinetic energy that it runs on, but it does provide soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now, the fine folks at Connecticut, for a limited time, you will receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station right there at your kitchen sink. They'll install it for you right there. You're also going to get $400 off of trade-in of your old water softener, and they're offering 0% interest for 12 months with approved credits. Don't wait. This offer can't last that long. It's going to end soon, so you want to call Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country, and you ought to do it right now. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or online at ConnecticutSA.com. And when you give them a call at 656-PURE, tell them you heard it from your old buddy Joe.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Looking to sculpt, tighten, or refresh? Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa does it all. Awake lipo, tummy tucks, fat reduction, microneedling, and more.
Thinking about implants for your wife? Dr. Hires specializes in breast augmentation for women and reductions for both men and women. Get the results you want with expert care. Call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com to start your transformation today. Use code word Blitz for exclusive discounts. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AB.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business. Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it and will beat any print quote. Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs. No problem. I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens. Totally. I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing. I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Having a party for the big game? Let Smoky Mo's handle the barbecue. Go with the Big Game Rib Party Pack. 3 pounds of delicious Smoky Mo's slow smoke ribs plus sides. Or get the Tailgate Party Pack, a buffet in a box with brisket, turkey, sausage, and sides. Add in a Baker Bar Group Pack. The chopped baked potato bar is perfect for groups. Smoky Mo's is great Texas barbecue that will make your big game party super. Order online at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com. Smoky Mo's, the pit is lit.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Does it feel like you're lacking energy, always moody, or you know your libido isn't what it used to be? It could be caused by low testosterone. Go get tested. I recommend the providers at Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss. Their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. They also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. And for current patients, Synergenx offers a $150 referral credit. Get started. Book your appointment at synergenxhealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs rookie Stephon Castle has been named as the Western Conference Rookie of the Month for January. Castle joins Victor Wembanyama as the only 2 Spurs players to win that award in the last 20 years. Of course, the Spurs fell to the Grizzlies, starting their rodeo road trip opener last night. They return to action in Atlanta tomorrow night against the Hawks, where the newest Spur, De'Aaron Fox, is scheduled to make his debut, although he is listed as questionable.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix. Buffalo 17. It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Synergenx. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues here from New Orleans. The schedules are always off this week because, but what's cool about this is we get to visit in person with the great Shireen Williams, who normally 5:15, but she came out. Well, we'll knock it out early.
All right.
Yeah, because it's been a long day for you already.
It has. And my coworker, actually, I was just telling you guys, has food poisoning. So I have loaded up my bag with Gatorade, and I am getting back to the hotel to get to Myles to hopefully feel better. That's not a good way to be at the Super Bowl. He had COVID at the LA Super Bowl was laid up there and now has this, but I guess it's better early in the week than late in the week.
What a way of getting out of having to go like the NFL opening night and the big press conferences earlier in the week, man.
That's a good point.
I've got, stay at the hotel.
Good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that tomorrow, maybe.
Maybe so. You said something that was intriguing, that the start of this Super Bowl week has been slower for you. What is it normally like, Shireen?
A few more stories and a little more excitement. It's kind of dead right now. I don't know. I just don't have that Super Bowl feel yet that you normally get early in the week. Now, I know it's going to pick up, but I'm just saying we're off to a really slow start. I went to both team sessions today, and there wasn't much there to write. I've written everything basically I got from there. I think I have one more thing to write, but I got close. Let's put it this way. I got close enough to Jalen Hurts to ask 4 questions of Jalen Hurts, which tells you that, there's not as many people there that I think that are usually here. I don't know. It just seems slow. This is my 30th. It just seems slow to me.
Is it? I'm trying to think what could cause that. Like those press conferences at the team hotel and everybody's over here, so you got to get on a bus and go over.
Yeah.
Kind of a pain. And there's so many other things going on, but also like last night, watching some of NFL opening night, the knucklehead questions those guys responded to. Football questions, they all clammed up.
Yeah.
They didn't want to answer any kind of football question. How much of it is nobody is giving any bulletin board type material?
And they're not giving very much at all. And, Nick Sirianni sat in there at that press conference for, I think it was 18 minutes or something.
Oh.
I got nothing out of that. I mean, there was absolutely nothing to write about out of that. It just seems slow compared to past Super Bowls, where we are, what we're writing. I don't know. It just seemed more busy. I'm really not complaining about it, because it just means a little less work for me and a little more fun. If there's not that much to write, there's not that much to write. You're still filling content. It just doesn't seem to be, that frenetic pace that we usually get on at the start of the week. Usually Monday, you just start out and bang, you go the rest of the week and the week flies. And it just doesn't seem that way so far this year.
Is it the Chiefs? Maybe this is their third straight time here. And Philly was just here too.
Yeah.
And they're kind of veterans, and this is all kind of ho-hum for them.
Yeah, and it may be some of that. And they know how to answer the questions and know how to respond. And there's not that many issues to write about so far. I guess again, knock on wood, I'm not complaining, because we don't want some of those things that we were just talking about, the Eugene Robinson year and the Barrett Robbins year. And we've seen some things at these Super Bowls happen. So let's hope we don't have any of those things, that remains quiet all week.
Very true. Although, it won't, although I guess from that perspective, because like as soon as we got off the plane this morning, there's that buzz here that you don't normally get, say, on a Sunday. Normally you come in on a Sunday, get everything set up and start Monday. Today has just been, that way. But I know Micah Parsons is going to be here, was it Thursday, to record his podcast. My guess is you'll get some good stories out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure so. Yeah, I'm sure they'll, and guys will start coming in. You're going to get a ton of story. And Myles Garrett is talking tomorrow. You're going to have a ton of stories out of Myles Garrett tomorrow. I mean, he's going to talk about the trade request, and it's going to be a big deal. And he's probably the biggest name that's going to come through here over the next couple of days, and that'll create some buzz for sure.
What do you think about that, Shireen? Myles Garrett going? I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, their future doesn't look exactly bright.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I understand where he's coming from. He wants to win, and there's something to be said for that. I'm certain that Browns fans aren't happy about that, but some of them certainly understand, because they've gone through it. since before the franchise came back in 1999, but this just hasn't been a winning franchise. And he's frankly wasted a big portion of his career getting toward Canton, which he mentioned that in its statement. He's done just about everything he can do to get into Canton thus far in his career, but he hasn't won that Super Bowl. And I know that's the one thing that's missing on his resume. And he wants a chance to do that. And he wants to go to a place that he can do that. And I would put the odds right now at 50-50. The Browns say they don't want to trade him. I'm sure they don't, but they're going to get some really good offers. Teams are going to call him, obviously. There's going to be a little bit of a bidding war for Myles Garrett to see if anybody can come up with an offer that the Browns can't refuse. And if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm making that call, and I'm seeing what I can do to get Myles Garrett on my roster, because that's the one team I think you look at and you go, he could be the missing piece for them. They have the offense, line him up there with the other edge rushers that they have, and I think that could be a pretty good lineup for the Buffalo Bills. That could get them over the hump.
Yeah. Shireen Williams from ProFootballTalk.com here on the Blitz. Now, you say Buffalo, but what about Jerry? Does Jerry even make the call?
Oh, absolutely not. No. 0% chance.
I mean, him and Micah Parsons?
None. There will not be a phone call made.
Well, what's scary about that is I've heard Washington could be a player.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine that?
They could be. And that would be a landing spot again, where I think they got to the championship game in Jaden Daniels' first season, and you get that defensive player who can put you over the top, make your defense as good as your offense is, and it just makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So, that could be another place that looks like they could contend for the title with a Myles Garrett.
All right, so no Jerry call for Myles Garrett. Does Jerry pick up the phone and call the Rams about Cooper Kupp?
There's a chance that Cooper Kupp gets cut. I think that's probably the better scenario that happens. I don't think anybody's going to trade for him. That's my thought. I think the Rams cut him. They want out of that contract. I just don't think anybody's going to pick up that contract. That's my thought. So if he's a free agent, maybe. What's somebody going to pay him? I think it comes down to that. He's been injury plagued the last couple of years, so you got to factor that in. And at the right price, I think the Cowboys could be players now. Are they going to trade for him? No. Could they get him once he's cut? Yes.
It just seems, and I hope Jerry's, and they've mentioned it, that they could be active in free agency this year. And I think they have to be. They've got some good young players. I know a lot of them have been hurt, and who's going to come back healthy, and how's it going to affect anybody. But having said all of that, quickest way to do this is add a couple of pieces that are veteran pieces.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And he could be one of those guys. You need that number 2 receiver opposite CeeDee Lamb, and he could be that guy. He'd be very good for you, and something they need. Now, you say, yeah, they're going to do it. Well, they said they were all in last year, and they didn't do it. So there's no guarantees they're going to do what they say they're going to do. There's no guarantees. And their version of being active in free agency might be totally different than the way we think of being active in free agency. Being active in free agency, I'm thinking the first 2 or 3 days you're signing guys, the first week you're signing guys, not waiting until the first wave goes and then you're going to sign 3 or 4 guys, which they didn't do that last year, but that's kind of been their MO 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm talking about if to be active and to become a contender again, they need to be active early in free agency. You don't have to sign 10 players. You don't have to sign 5 players, but you need to sign now Cooper Kupp, if he gets cut, going to get cut even before free agency starts, but a Cooper Kupp type receiver, a linebacker, a veteran linebacker, a defensive tackle. I'm talking about maybe 3 players that you go out and you sign who can help turn things around for you.
Shireen, when you think about, since we talked last Tuesday and, things that were said at the Senior Bowl by Steven, the staff coming together, anything in your world where it's, all right, I like that, I like what I'm hearing there, or is it just the same old in your mind from Steven and the Brain Trust?
Well, yeah, I don't know necessarily from Steven and the Brain Trust, but I like what I heard from Schottenheimer, and I like the fact that they want to run the ball, which means you got to get a running back to run the ball. So they seem dedicated to go out and getting a running back, whether that's a Genty in the draft, it's a really good running back draft. It's not as good in free agency. So maybe you don't get that guy in free agency, but if you don't, then you've got to spend an early pick for sure on a running back. I mean, running backs to me, they were devalued for so long. I don't think they're devalued anymore. I think you need that lead running back, that bell cow guy. And the Cowboys, Rico Dwaddle did as good as he could possibly do. Kudos to him for the season he had. He's not a bell cow running back. He's not the Derrick Henry who they could have had. He's not Saquon Barkley. He's not an MVP candidate. He can't carry the load. He can't carry the team. You need that guy. You need to find that guy and draft that guy.
Do you think Genty's that guy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. And there's a lot of guys like it. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the first round. I think you can get one of those guys in the second. It is a great running back draft. You get one of those guys in the second round if you want to draft a receiver or, if there's an offensive line. Again, I think you stick to your draft board, whatever that is, whoever that player is, you stick to your draft board and then get the running back in the second round if you have to, or the third round. I mean, you look at the running backs they could have had in the fourth round this past year. They could have Bucky Irving.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Bucky Irving's, I'm not saying he's Derrick Henry or whatever, but he can carry an offense.
Yep.
I think you put him in there and you put Rico with him and you put a veteran running back, not Ezekiel Elliott, but a different veteran running back in there with him. And you would be okay with a sort of running back by committee type thing. But the running backs they had were not going to work even as a committee. They just didn't have that running back that you can kind of lean on. And they could have had that guy in the fourth round this past year.
Interesting.
Shireen Williams, Pro Football Talk, joining us here on the Blitz in New Orleans on Radio Row. I see the Eagles on the banner over here and the Chiefs over there. Are we getting a three-peat?
I really like the Eagles roster overall, probably better than the Chiefs. I really like that roster. Depth, everything else. But the Chiefs have the obvious advantage, head coach and quarterback, which are the two most important things on any team. So I'm picking the Eagles, but it's really hard to pick against Chiefs. In other words, since I'm picking the Eagles, you probably want to take the Chiefs. I'm not good at predicting these things, but I do really like the Eagles roster and what they're able to do with running the football. To me, it's all going to come. Can Saquon Barkley run against this Chiefs defense? If he can, I think the Eagles are going to win this game, and I think he will be able to.
I think he can.
And their defense is very good. Don't get me wrong. Their defense is as strong as I've seen it in this Patrick Mahomes era. I love the Chiefs defense, but I do think Saquon Barkley is going to be able to run, and I think he's going to be the difference of this game.
The Giants have to be just throwing up and the behind the scenes, just like it's sick.
Yeah, I mean, how do you let that guy go? I don't get what. And they still have their jobs, by the way.
I know.
and every time he does something, we get one of those wonderful clips from Hard Knocks in season, which I'm guessing no team will ever do again.
Isn't there somebody doing it now?
Is there?
Going to do it?
Or not in season, the off season?
Somebody just did in season.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did the AFC North.
No. They did in season. It was a team. I don't know who.
It was the 4 teams, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
I mean, what's that pledge?
This is the AFC North.
AFC North.
In season?
Yeah, it was Pittsburgh, and it was boring. I think I watched one episode and was like, yeah.
Okay.
Off season, I don't know that they'll do again. Not after seeing that, but you never know. What, do you hope that there were some cameras rolling from some sort of behind the scenes footage of Nico having conversation with Rob about sending Luca?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I'm sure you're glad you're out of DFW this week to be down here with the Bad Word Show that's going on up there.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, I mean, Jerry had to be happy that Nico made that move.
Well, I'm not even a big NBA fan. I don't really follow it, and I didn't know be honest, I didn't even know who the Mavs GM, what his name was, but I know it now. But even I knew that, like, what I texted my NBA friends and I said, okay, I know, as you know, I know nothing about the NBA. This seems stupid to me. Am I wrong? I said, no, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you do this? Don't know.
NBA,
so I having as little knowledge of the NBA as I do, even I knew it was stupid.
That Sham Sharania thought he got hacked.
Yeah.
He thought he got hacked when that came through.
And we can compare it to the Myles Garrett thing. Okay. They're opening this up They say they don't want to trade him, but they're opening up to the other 31 teams. So they're going to get in a bidding war. And I guess that's my biggest problem with what the Mavs did is if you're going to trade him, okay, trade him, but open it up to the rest of the NBA and say, give us your best offer. We're taking the best offer. That could not have been the best offer that they would have gotten if they had opened this up to the rest of the league. So it's the same with the Browns. Give us your best offer. And if there's something that we see that we cannot turn down that makes us a better football team, yes, we're rebuilding, then we'll take that offer. If not, we keep him on our roster, which is the same thing the Mavs should have done with the player in his prime who's got years left, who can help you get over the hump and do. I mean, they're just coming off the NBA Finals for Pete's
And
sake.
he drugged them there.
Yeah.
Pretty much
absolutely.
Single-handedly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. Shireen Williams, Pro Football Talk, Mother Football. Your week. This is your week.
It is 30th.
Your 30th.
30th Super Bowl.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm right up there with the. We're trying to figure out who the longest active streak. I think it might be Jarrett Bell from USA Today, but I haven't asked him yet how many. Somebody has third. Sal Powell from ESPN has 34, so he's a little bit ahead of me on my 30th. But I'm right up there among them, the longest active, because we used to have those who had seen every single one, and rest in peace to those guys because they're all dead now. So we don't have anybody left who's seen all of them. So my streak is right up there for the longest active.
Keep it
Nice.
rolling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep it rolling.
Yep.
In the streak of in person at least once a year on Radio
I
Row.
like it.
Shireen Williams, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and hope your coworker gets to feeling better.
Yeah.
I do too. Thank you guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it. The
Shireen.
great Shireen Williams here live on Radio Row as we are down here in New Orleans. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage brought to you by Synergenx, Circa Las Vegas, Flight by Yuengling, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Smokey Mo's Barbecue. It's interesting hearing her reaction about Luke. And one of the things is Luke is overweight. We're down here in New Orleans, and I'm going to guess we're going to gain 5, 6, 8 pounds while we're down here. And I'm thinking, all right, but Joe and I started a program not long ago where we can do that. Maybe Luca should have called Dr. Connie Hires and got a little M sculpted, because you can actually look fitter without doing a sit-up. With doing the M sculpt is like doing 20,000 crunches in half an hour, but you're going to shape that up.
I'm going to tell you what, and I've noticed a difference. I noticed a difference, and it's great. You can see it within a relatively short period of time. It's incredible, and I actually enjoy it now. It's a 30-minute treatment, and you go in, and they put these magnets on your stomach, and it squeezes the muscles and works the muscles. And does all of that. And I think it's fantastic. And it's the best thing we've done. And I tell you what, fellas, if you're having a hard time getting rid of that beer gut, or you don't want that dad bod anymore, you need to check out Dr. Hires.
Absolutely. It's non-invasive muscle building, fat burning procedure. No downtime. Takes 30 minutes. And honestly, you go in there because you can't be on your phone. Take a nap.
Yes.
Get it done. You're doing sit-ups without actually doing sit-ups or mixing in a salad. It is fantastic. And over there with Dr. Connie Ayers, plastic surgery and med spa, they do it all. Awake lipo, tummy tucks, excess skin removal, whatever you need, you can probably get that service there. FindYourBeautiful.com is her website. Use promo code Blitz when you call her. Call 210-494-8446. Again, FindYourBeautiful.com is the website to go to.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59.
I like this kind of party.
The Philadelphia Eagles face the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday at 5:30. The Chiefs, led by MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes, aims for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl victory, a feat never achieved in NFL history. Meanwhile, the Eagles, with a formidable defense and a dynamic offense, are ready to challenge the reigning champions. Don't miss a moment of this historic matchup, presented locally by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Sunday at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for Super Bowl 59.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way. And that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions. And that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Looking to sculpt, tighten, or refresh? Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa does it all. Awake lipo, tummy tucks, fat reduction, microneedling, and more.
Thinking about implants for your wife? Dr. Hires specializes in breast augmentation for women and reductions for both men and women. Get the results you want with expert care. Call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com to start your transformation today. Use code word Blitz for exclusive discounts.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. Lots of video content on our Instagram. Same handles, SA Sports Star, Joe Reinagel210, easy for me to say, at
It's been
Jason
a long day.
Minix. It really has been. I mean,
Yeah, but I love it. This is great. And again, if you were with us earlier, or if you weren't, this convention center, it's not half the size of Vegas, is it?
It doesn't feel like it.
I mean, Vegas was humongous. It really was. This one's not nice though, and there obviously folks from all over the country in here. Learned a new word today earlier before the show. Some people came by, asked you how we got a table over here, and the guy said I had a quaff. So I've heard that before, but I never really understood what it meant, and so I looked it up, and it said nice. I'll have to look it up again, but I know beautiful was in there to describe that, and well managed, and I mean just nice stuff. But a quaff,
yeah. When the guy's like, you got quite a quaff. Ryan Nagle wasn't sure if he should fight or say thank you.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, dude, what do you mean by that? No, it was interesting. I'm going to tell you, but quaff. I got a quaff.
I don't know that you should go around saying that. It sounds bad.
It does, doesn't it?
It sounds
well,
bad.
It's very close to another word that you probably can't say on the radio. And
I mean, it just sounds bad.
It does. It really does. And so as soon as he said that, I had to look it up. But it was actually his girlfriend or wife or whoever was with him was complimenting. All I heard was, you have nice hair. So naturally I turned around and said, well, thank you.
And she wasn't talking to me.
She wasn't talking to me. She was talking to Erica, your daughter. And so.
Yeah. Well, I knew she wasn't talking to me. But yeah, you did immediately pop up.
I did.
You had that TV boy pose.
That's it.
25 years at Ken's, and they were like, no, not you.
Yeah.
And then her husband was like, yeah, but you got quite a quaff. And then Ryan Nagle was like, should I be offended by
I'm
that?
not like, explain yourself. So I had to go to the Googles to find out what that was. Yeah. And it's a compliment. I take it as a compliment.
Do you think Maggie sits around and is talking with her friend, just like, oh yeah, Joey's got quite a quaff?
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to ask her though if she's ever heard of the word quaff to describe anybody, or if she's ever used that. I'll when I talk to her later tonight, I'll ask her.
Who actually uses that in a sentence?
Well, this dude here, I don't know where he was from. Maybe New Orleans. Maybe it's in New Orleans they use that. Is that a Cajun word?
No.
Who?
I've used it.
You have?
Yeah, coiffed hair.
You use all kinds of big words. I mean, what people don't know about James Pledger is every night, he goes home and he reads at the source. And he figures out ways he can use big words he can't really say in a sentence.
Yes. Okay.
And I think Pledge fancies himself to have a nice
quaff. He fancies himself. Do you fancy yourself, Pledge? I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, I think if you're going to use, I've got quite a quaff, you're fancying yourself. Right?
Well, I didn't say that. It was a compliment. From somebody else. So I wouldn't have said, hey, Minix, take a look at my quaff.
I would think you would need medical treatment for that.
Well, exactly. Or you might not look at my head.
Not looking anywhere else. Don't want to see your quaff, sir.
I'm just saying, right? I don't know. It was a compliment after I asked the Googles all about it.
The fact that you had to ask it was a compliment. That's
Now, if you go to Google though and look this up, you got to see the dude's hairstyle.
It looks. That's not you.
That's quite.
Whoa! Hey,
sir.
Chris Orozco says Joe has a nice aura around his quaff.
That's funny. That's funny.
Good Lord. What is it going to cost Jerry to get Micah Parsons done? We asked that of Lindsay Rhodes earlier today, and she has handed us a note with some numbers. We will tell you what those numbers are. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star as we continue from New Orleans. Of course, the game coming up on Sunday. We're in Louisiana. You're in Texas. And great news, Underdog is available to play in Texas. The best app for your big game party is on your phone. It's Underdog, the best place to cash in on all your takes. Higher, lower, play the pick'em game. Love playing the pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on stats. Devontae Smith, what is he going to do? Saquon, Patrick, whatever. Could be tackles. You look at it there, you create your own entry, and you can win cash while watching the game on Sunday. Create all your entries and cook up whatever you're thinking, higher or lower. And Underdog is the only pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. They have rescues, which I love, Underdog rescues. So you get a second chance, if you will. You get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose. Underdog is the best place to play pick'em. Download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, use promo code STAR when you sign up at Underdog.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs get busy again in Atlanta, and trade deadline is looming. We'll talk about it.
And Radio Row underway out in New Orleans. We'll see what's going on out there, and we'll start discussing that game that's happening on Sunday. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way. And that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions. And that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at porkrinds.com and become your own Crunch Time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at porkrinds.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Once again, that's Indeed.com/credit.
Want to burn fat and build muscle at the same time? M-Sculpt Neo at Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa does just that. It's a non-invasive treatment that sculpts and tones with zero downtime. Call 210-494-8446 or findyourbeautiful.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the big game in the Big Easy.
It's showtime. Let's go.
And the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from New Orleans. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all the pregame excitement leading up to the superb hour.
This is exactly where we want to be.
From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all.
I like this kind of party.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues. Obviously, the big game coming up on Sunday that you can listen to here on 94.1, brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. And if you want to guess the final score of the big game, you can win $50,000 thanks to Dietz Tractor. It's simple. Submit your name, email, and your score prediction at sasportstar.com. Could win $50,000 if you can nail the score.
$50,000, not bad, not bad at all. I might buy, I don't know, a couple steaks.
A couple,
yeah,
a couple. Tomorrow, Paige Baraniak is going to join us live at 3:00.
If you're watching on YouTube, see this poker chip that and then I'm holding up. This is called LasPagias.com.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either, but these are hers, by the way. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that. And
we'll probably get a couple more of those tomorrow.
Probably so.
Well, we were talking to Lindsay Rhodes earlier. She was doing a TV interview right behind us.
Yeah, people on YouTube noticed.
We did they now?
Yes.
I think we should get a lot of credit for focus.
I agree with you. I agree totally with you on that. You had to keep eye contact with Lindsay.
But that is another reason why you want to be by the YouTube channel tomorrow at 3:00. Plus, we got Trey Wingo, Ron Rivera, Amon Green tomorrow. We've got a stack show tomorrow, Thursday. Emmett Smith, Darren Woodson, Thurman Thomas. I mean, all week. It's what you come to expect when San Antonio Sports Star hits Super Bowl Radio Row, and we're delivering once again with everything. And then, talking to Lindsay Rhodes, who is fantastic. I followed her career when she was NFL Network and all that. She really is a brilliant analyst. And with her new job with Sumer Sports, talking to her, Reinagel said, "What's it going to take for Micah Parsons?" And she went over to the little computer over there, and she brought us the answer.
She claims, and this is a little bit less than what we talked about earlier in the week, Minix, or last week. 5 years, $173 million, which is $35 per. At least $76 million fully guaranteed, although she's got some other numbers in here. Could be over $80 million guaranteed. So I thought that was interesting. But, yeah, she dropped off that little note for us. And So 173, about 35 mil guaranteed. Now, I'm wondering, didn't Justin Jefferson, isn't he making 35 mil?
Yeah, well, again, highest paid defensive player. Where is that number at?
Well, I'm thinking highest paid non-quarterback. I figured Micah would go north of what Justin Jefferson made.
Well, again, though, I go, Micah said he doesn't necessarily have to be the highest paid.
Yeah, well,
now, his agent might disagree with that.
I said I didn't want to win the lottery either. It doesn't mean it's true.
Well, you
I'm just saying.
You actually have never said that.
I've never said that, but if I did say it, you'd know it was absolutely a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking, not calling Micah Parsons a liar by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm just saying I think I'm not sure he meant what he said. Just saying. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't believe. It'll be interesting to see what Micah says when he does his podcast here from Radio Row on Thursday.
Yes.
Because you got to imagine that the contract talk is going to come up. The idea of waiting, and again, there are reasons for a player to wait because next year it's only going to go up. He'll get more if he waits. So does he want it now or does he want to wait? And what is the projection for next year? And that's what his agent has to try to figure out. Does Jerry come in and lowball him, or hey, let's get it done, but I want to leave some money for some other people? All of those are real possibilities.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, does he want to play a season under Matt Eberflus to see how he likes Flus as a defensive coordinator?
That could very well be something. I'm sure he's curious, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of conversations between now and training camp for sure. But that's certainly a possibility. Why not? And see, I think that first couple of conversations between Eberflus and Parsons will say a lot, because if I'm Eberflus, I'm explaining exactly how I want to use you, and then I'm asking Micah, what is it you think you do best, and where would you like to be? And so all of these things. But yeah, hey, if I'm Eberflus, my lips are squarely on the behind of one Micah Parsons, and I'm wanting to know exactly what he wants and how he wants to play.
And the great news is, Flus was a great defensive coach and defensive coordinator. Some serious blunders as a head coach, obviously, but back as a DC, I can only imagine what a guy like Eberflus can do with a player like Micah Parsons. And I hope that their relationship develops into, because remember, I mean, he was buddy with Dan Quinn, but at times, player coach. I'm not sure how he felt about Zim early, but late it seemed like he really bought into Zim. And I do think Micah Parsons, even though his words don't necessarily say this, I think in reality he really is a team guy with that mindset. But at the same time, he never points the finger at himself.
True. It's going to be interesting to see what he says here on Radio Row. No doubt.
Yeah, and I know. And with Myles Garrett, on the trade block, even though most don't think that Jerry will even call at least until he's not a Cowboy, you could dream about the possibility. I mean, can I at least dream about it?
You can dream about it. You might want to call your buddy Dak Prescott and say, hey, can you give about, I don't know, half of that contract back so we can sign Myles Garrett?
No, I mean, he's not going to do that.
Well, I'm just saying it would help him win.
I think Micah should take. No, it is what it is. And, obviously the contract is there and the compensation is going to be extremely high. I'm curious, though, will the Cleveland Browns, if they do in fact trade Myles Garrett, do they go with the highest bidder regardless, which they should as the team, get as much as you can, or do they do Myles Garrett a solid and send him to a legit contender? Like if Buffalo's package isn't as good as, say, I don't know, pick a team that's not going to the Super Bowl anytime soon. Dallas.
I'm not.
Or will the Browns be selfish here? Dude, do you want
Yes.
out? All right, I'm getting everything I can. I know you want to go to the Super Bowl. You ain't going to the Super Bowl in Jacksonville, but there you go. They gave us the best package.
Well, absolutely. You've got it. It's business, right? Miles knows that. It's business. If the Browns are going to trade this guy, they're going to get as much as they possibly can for him. I don't care what team that is. But if you're talking about a team like Washington, that'll scare the hell out of Cowboy fans. because that team's on the rise, and you add a piece like Myles Garrett. Now you've got some defense and a pass rush. Woo!
Well, all right. Let's think about this. If it looks like Myles Garrett could get traded to Washington, does that cause Jerry to pick up the phone?
No.
Because you're playing defense there too. I really can't afford it, but I can't afford for you guys to get him. It's a possibility.
Who knows?
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star down in New Orleans on Radio Row. Time for our injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Let's welcome on the Buyers Barricades guest line, Dr. Lane Naugher. And Doc, while we're all thinking about the Super Bowl and football, I want to start with a basketball injury. Luka gets traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, who's listed as questionable on the initial injury report for his supposed season debut because he's got an abdominal muscle strain. Was that from the laughing or heaving when he saw the actual trade that he got traded for Luka?
I may have been choking on whatever bite of food he was working on when he found out. Maybe also doesn't bode well either way.
Doc, when you're talking about an abdominal strain like that, I'm assuming it's a pulled muscle in your six pack or lack thereof. In Minix's case,
wow.
Wow. So is that just like a pulled muscle anywhere else, or does it heal slower or faster than something else?
It can just be like a pulled muscle in other areas. It can also be where those muscles attach to the ribs or down lower on the abdomen. Sometimes you can strain those. It's the tendon insertions on those bones. So, but it's overall the healing can be something mild, like a mild sprain or a mild hamstring tear, all the way up to something severe, which can take 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow. And then you look at that trade, Luka's obviously still hurt. So is Maxi Kleber. He's hurt with the foot injury. Bizarre. And then, all this is going around, and you think about the trade deadline. DeJounte Murray, former Spur, blows out his Achilles, and you watch the play, and how did his Achilles give out on that play? It just seems so normal.
Yeah, it's unfortunately for him, it's that kind of play where just on one of the video angles you can see him as he steps back, loading that heel to try and accelerate forward. That's actually a pretty classic way. It seems so, just run-of-the-mill, everyday type of move. But for some reason, that one motion, it put it under just enough tension that it popped. And you can even see the muscle kind of recoil if you zoom in. And so, unfortunately, it's kind of a run-of-the-mill play, but this is kind of classically how it happens, either pushing off like that or landing from an easy jump. It can sometimes pop.
Doc, it seems like we see that more and more, and maybe we're just with social media and other avenues, we see it more than we used to. But it seems like a lot of guys either blow out their knee from non-contact injuries, just stepping wrong, or the Achilles just stepping. Is there something that's causing more of that than perhaps, 10, 20 years ago?
I don't think there's necessarily anything that's a root cause for more injuries. I think if we actually looked at kind of the numbers of injuries, some of the rates have gone down depending on the injury. Now, ACLs and Achilles specifically, there is some sports where they've actually gone up, and that may be just volume of play for some of our younger athletes. For the professional athletes, I think some of the injury rates have actually improved just because of the rehab protocols, the training, just the overall fitness levels, and the whole teams of sports performance specialists that follow these guys around. Some of those rates have actually gone down over the past decade or so.
It's going to be interesting now as we get ready for the game on Sunday. Some might call it maybe a potential miracle. Brandon Graham has been out since late November with a when he tore his triceps in that Eagles win over the Rams. There's a chance he could play. They've opened up the practice window. They haven't said anything yet. You think about an injury on November 26th, the idea of playing in the Super Bowl, seemed far-fetched a long time ago. If he is able to play, will he be as effective?
Yeah, so it is really impressive. I mean, if we want to call it a Super Bowl miracle, I think if this was not the Super Bowl, there is no chance he would be playing. But I think he will be affected. You may as well expect him to be in a really large brace with plenty of wrap for support. Strength on that arm will not be normal compared to his other side that did not have the injury. But clearly he's recovered fast enough that he's got enough strength and enough stability in that arm where he's going to give it a go. Now, I'm sure the surgeons and the team physicians and sports trainers have, they've talked through him the risk of trying to play, getting back this early with the potential to re-tear that triceps. But he's decided, along with the medical staff, that it's safe, and he's willing to take that risk to have the chance to play in the big game and get a championship.
All right, Doc, the important question of the day: who you got on Sunday?
Oh, this is tough for me growing up as a Cowboys fan. I am kind of sick of seeing the Chiefs lift the trophy, but I just don't know that I can pull for the Eagles. I think the Chiefs pull it out. I don't think I'll ever bet against Mahomes in a big game.
I agree with you.
You're rooting for history this week.
I know.
Rooting for history. Good stuff, Dr. Lane. Naugher, appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Appreciate it. You too, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it. The injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG, Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Naugher and all our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Day one of Radio Row in the books.
Good day, good start for the Blitz. Hopefully everybody listening and chiming in, whether on the radio or on YouTube or however you were listening, enjoyed it as well, as much as we did. And I can't wait for tomorrow.
And well, tonight we got a big old party tonight at Mardi Gras World. Pay attention to our socials, especially Instagram, at SA Sports Star, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. Extra innings with Pledge coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Hey, if you're hungry and you've been thinking about what you're going to do for dinner tonight, I've got a suggestion for you.